maestro. West County with the key, thespian by night. Mostly bucks the boys try to guess it right. Cool Han with the plan.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this Super Sunday. Hope you're well. Welcome to the Cool Han Brick Show. So we're a little bit late. Martin should be with us soon. I think he's having a few technical issues. That's enough of that.
We're getting there.
Okay, well, obviously I'm one of the hosts here, Whittakee, aka Martin. I'm being joined by this side by glorious Padawan, Lord of the Boyz, the man you need to speak to if you want to know anything about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I've got wealth of knowledge up here. We hopefully should have Martin come in or Cool Han come in sooner rather than later. Worst case, if he can't get his stuff sorted, he's going to use his phone the old-fashioned way.
Back in my old days,
it wouldn't be a traditional Cool Han Loot Bricks stream without a bit of tech diffs.
That's true. Yeah. Unfortunately, Slurpy's not with us tonight. He's too busy sitting at the end of his rainbow counting his gold.
What is he actually doing? Is he doing his his blockhead?
I'm not too sure actually. I don't know if he's got some private family stuff or.
I feel like I should just have it'd be good if I could stand him on. Oh, look at that, Bosch! Now he's here in spirit.
Oh, look at that! Beautiful.
Oh, and he's down.
Well, blockhead demise.
He's here.
So I think before we carry on or whatever, I will introduce. We've got a guest this week, and I will just get him in. So everybody, say hello to Kenn, aka Brick Dynasty. Welcome.
Hello, boys. How are you?
Bro, what's going on?
Fabulous, Kenn. It sounds like I'm a magician or something. It's awesome.
I was thinking something to do with Barbie, I think, something like that. But
oh, geez, yeah.
That's the first thing comes to mind with me.
Yeah.
Big badass, beautiful Kenn.
Well,
yeah. If only it came with the Barbie.
So how are you, Kenn? You okay?
Oh yeah, never better.
Cool, good. I was discussing the other day about trying to get you in again as well for like what we did before with the sets. But maybe after Brickworld to do something to be like what would be our ideal UCS set. So
he's made it.
Hey, there he is.
He is.
I worked it out. I know what the problem is.
Run us a quick run through. What did you fuck up? Ooh.
I paid for the premium StreamYard, didn't I? For 1 week.
Yeah.
So obviously now they've got to throw gremlins in every time, so that I'm tempted to go back. Planned obsolescence. So because I haven't had any problems on the other account, so it's literally like, ooh, how can we get him back? Ooh, if we just make some phantom issues every now and then. I was literally like, right, plugged in, microphone working, test, yeah, audio, headset working, audio working, yeah, fine. Go into the StreamYard. No audio, no thing. Right, what's going on? Go back out. It looks like your microphone is not plugged in. Ah, okay. So I unplugged the microphone. Go to plug it back in, and it says, you unplugged your microphone. Why did you? I'm like, you just told me there was no microphone. So I unplugged it. Now you're telling me that you've unplugged it. So you must know it was there to know I've unplugged it. Bags. Yeah. But yeah, so guys, if ever anybody in the chat ever considers doing any kind of YouTube streaming or anything like that, wait and hold out, because one day they might invent some kind of streaming sort of middleman service where you can kind of control everything via yourself between you and YouTube. But until that day, they invent something like that works. Don't bother, because it's just a waste of space.
I've already told Martin, I was like, right, if we're doing like a live one from Brickworld, I'm 100% taking over all of the technical stuff.
And you're more than welcome, mate.
I'm taking
You're more than
over
welcome.
the banners. I'm taking over the stuff in StreamYard. I'm taking over the camera. I'm taking over the mics. I'm doing the works.
Ooh,
How
I
are you
don't know
gonna
about
take
the
all the
chat.
banners?
I might still want to.
Yeah, but I'll control the banners on my laptop because I'm taking my laptop with me so we can do it on mine.
Oh, it's fuck all to do with the tech, mate. It all works. It's working now.
Clearly, 17 minutes later.
And do you know what I did? Did you know what I did differently to make it work?
Go on.
Nothing.
I was going to say.
I didn't do anything. I haven't changed anything.
No,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is StreamYard. You know when you had the premium version of StreamYard, Padawan?
I've never had it. I've never had the premium version.
That's why you've never had an issue.
Mm.
Martin, you know when you had the premium version of StreamYard? And then you went back to the normal version. No. Ken, you know you got premium StreamYard, right?
Yep.
When you cancelled it and went back to the free version, or have you not done that?
I haven't canceled.
Just saying, guys. Just saying.
I feel like I really want to get the premium version now and then go back to the free one just to prove a point.
I don't know what point is that to prove.
I wouldn't bother.
All I literally did is turn my Chromebook off and turn it back on. That was it. I tried everything else. I was just like, I'm just going to turn it back on again.
There's the issue. There's the issue right there. We figured it out finally what the issue is. It's a fucking Chromebook.
Yeah. Well, no, because I'm streaming now on my Chromebook.
Apple Master Race. Just saying.
But that's what everybody was trying to get me to get at one point. But I've got this laptop, so I'm quite happy. Like I said, no problem since I've had this laptop now. So thank God, touch wood.
Yeah. Well, this stream is like the London Marathon, right? The YouTube channel is your kit and your person running. StreamYard is the egg and spoon that they give you to do it with, even though you don't even need one. So, but
we didn't do too bad when we we had 2 attempts. The first time I logged in and we did all the intro and that, I realised that when I pressed the go live button, it didn't work. So that was our second attempt.
Which button were you pressing? The button in StreamYard?
I was pressing it saying go live, and I pressed it, and it kind of flashed at me, but then nothing else happened.
That'll be it, mate. Yeah. You pressed the StreamYard live button. You should have pressed the go live button in StreamYard.
Yeah, that's the one I meant. Yeah, that one. But I don't think it was recognising I pressing it properly. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, right. Should we just say hello to everyone and then get on with it?
You've already done that.
No, we haven't said hello to everyone. We didn't just come in. Got to give it a chance. Got to give, I mean, we've lost now. What? Oh, look, we've lost 3 viewers already.
There we go. Slurpy's here in spirit. I've got him on the pedestal.
That's not where the hell it is.
Right. Let me just
let me mute myself. Let me mute myself and then never get the audio back.
Right. So, welcome to the Cool Gang. I will now from the beginning. Okay, one of our regulars, Matley. Let's hit that like button, people. Nice one. Papa Rex is in the house. We have Lightning Lord. Welcome, Lightning Lord. We also have Pocket Master. So much hype, so little time. Oh, yes. Brick by Brick together. Good evening. Padawan. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, look, that's cool. Popped in to say hello. Brick. Hello to him. Evening, Amy. Very nice to see you. Thank you for popping in. Brick. As someone would say, the only squadron. Yep. Crew squadron. Evening, Kennedy. And I think. Oh, we got our other number 1 fan here, Muggsy. Evening, Muggsy. I think Slurpy's getting his BW stop motion done, so cool. There he is, talking to the devil. Evening, Slurpy. Hope you're well. And And finally, but not least, it's Paddy the Persian dog. Hello, you got it working. Yay, yeah, eventually. So, that is everybody at the moment. And of course, anyone else pops in, whatever, I will either give you a salute or say hello, depending if you can get in there when people are chatting. But yeah, that's brilliant. So welcome to the show.
I got it working, Paddy. I put new batteries in the kettle and then it worked.
Poster in the bath, squared.
Oh, shout out to shout out to Paddy as well for following me on Instagram. Thank you.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a few others, but I can't remember their names. I should write them down. Really, give them shout outs. Right.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, Amy. Because I went on to, I used my other account recently to go on to another YouTube channel. In fact, it was Kenn's. I used my old account for that, and or the account that I've never had a premium version of, and that worked fine. That worked perfectly fine. And I think I used it for something else as well the other day. No problems. So I'm just gonna have to disband this one, unfortunately, after this. So yeah, I don't know. But yes.
What's our topics for tonight then? What are we doing?
We well,
what's the plan tonight, Martin? Because I don't really know.
Mate, I never have a
we have
plan.
plans, but we'll wait till after Brickworld.
I never have a plan, just in case we don't end up having a stream. So I was prepared for the worst. But I got plenty to talk about, and obviously we want to showcase Kenn. I keep forgetting though, Kenn. Are you? Is it your first time at Brickworld?
Yes, it is. First time.
Right. Okay.
Oh, right. So we're all going to be virgins.
Well, we're all going to be noobs. But but look, obviously we do our usual thing. Kenn has been on the show before, but it was more of a. It wasn't really, it was a. What do we call it? I can't remember what we call it. A collaboration.
Yeah.
So I streamed to both channels, and obviously you had multiple platforms. But
still one of my favorite episodes.
So we don't really count that. We don't really count that as a guest on the show kind of episode, because we were kind of guests on each other's. But yeah, so we just want to. So I'd always get a bit hung up calling you Brick Dynasty, because obviously you're part of a. There's more than two of you even. There's obviously a shout out to Saunders, and I can't remember the name of the guy who works behind the scenes.
There's quite a few of us. Derek is the other one that. So, if you happen to be on our website, we have two guys that write in our blog over there that just started. Saunders runs our Twitter account. Derek does all of our graphic design. RK does the app for us. So, we got a fair amount of people working in here.
So it is like an actual dynasty. There's a team of people behind that crown.
Yep.
And look, obviously, I'll pass it over to you in a sec, just to kind of explain it a little bit and explain a bit more about the channel, because obviously a little bit more to it than what there is to at least ours, or certainly a channel that had just one person behind it. And obviously your story, we'll go into your story with Lego as well a little bit, because obviously you're surrounded by a metropolis of Lego drawers, which I'm sure people will want to know about. Certainly newer viewers who aren't aware of you. But so it's interesting. Like I said, the Brick Dynasty, I said, is more of a business YouTube channel, from what I can gather, than a kind of a bunch of knobheads just messing about and knocking two rocks together and hoping to make some kind of ice. But but look, obviously, Kenn, obviously we've connected quite early on and stayed with you. What is it to say? Defund the IRS. And I've dropped the link in as well. So there's a link for Kenn's YouTube channel, or the Brick Dynasty YouTube channel, and Instagram. But there's also a link in there for the website, and the website will take you to a link tree, which includes lots of different links for lots of different exciting things, including and not limited to some merchandise, which we will talk a little bit about today. It also gives us a chance to plug our own in connectivity with it. But I'm not above or beyond sharing other people's merchandise on the show, because I have recently made a. Did I say I've made a purchase? I probably haven't actually officially yet. But me and Ken have been trying to organize, or he's been trying to shake some money out of me for something I've ordered with him. But so we'll get to that in a bit. But so look, tell us a little bit about Brick Dynasty, the history, where it came from, how it looks at the moment. Obviously, a little bit of detail about what you just started talking about the people behind the scenes, and then obviously your individual story with Lego as well, and taking us up, from birth to now, I guess, in a nutshell.
So Brick Dynasty itself started mostly by accident. I was doing a bunch in the Lego investing side, and a Discord group owner asked if I wanted to come in and give some of his people advice on how those things work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, well, sure, I'll do that. I hate talking to people, but from that angle, I don't like giving people advice, tips, whatever. But sure, you ask, I'll come in and do it. But I wanted to be a little on the faceless side, so I came up with Brick Dynasty as the name. And then that turned into a whole to-do in the Discord side, and then we started building the app to keep track of a lot of historical data for investing. We grew that to a decent way to present the retirement list, because BrickTap is great, but anytime you can have something in more of an app form where you can actually sort and filter and whatnot, we figured that'd be a benefit to the community, so we built that out. And then
what does that look like at the moment? Because I knew you've tried to talk to me about it, but obviously it's like trying to talk to a caveman about anything modern. So I don't want to kind of segue off your story too much, but just wanted to, because some people might not know about this thing that you guys have been building, this piece of software.
Well, nobody knows about it because we don't really talk about it nearly as much as we should. But if you go to what is it? It's app.thebrickdynasty.com. That's our app. It's a web app. It's not anything official yet. We're not to that point. But in there, you can go to, yep, that's it. Yeah. So if you create an account and you go in there, the retirement lists are in there, so you can filter through all of that. We have most of the set data going back to 1950 or so. We're still working on that. We get add pricing, some other things. We have something new we started about a month ago. Well, we made it public a month or so ago. We do brick leads. So if you are in a store, you find Walmart clearance, whatnot, you can actually add in the pricing to tell other people, hey, I found this at Walmart. It was $15 for a $70 set, whatever. Wait. You can share that with the whole community.
So it's interactive. So it's like, it's real time as well then. So it's real time interactive. Well, which, for the layman or the person who's more layman than me means that, it's updated kind of almost immediately, I guess, or as immediately as possible. And, you guys can actually, do you need to be signed up to the account to be able to do that? Or is it just kind of, anybody can do it?
So to get an account is free to get to that point. Then we have a paid service. It's $5 a month. We try to keep it as cheap as we can. With that, we have a stock checker, brick check, we call it. So you can look at any set that's available, and you can hit a button that says, Walmart stock or Target stock, and it'll bring you into Walmart, and it'll give you real-time pricing on that set at the 50 closest Walmarts to you. So it'll tell you.
Damn.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying, Ken, that at the minute it's mainly US based?
Yes.
At the minute, because on sign up for us tea drinking Brits over here, I can't put my zip code in because I don't have a numbered zip code. So it's like
yes, yeah.
We have postcodes.
So, So once we nail down the American market and we actually get it fine-tuned and everything working properly, then we'll branch out from there. but we didn't want to bite off more than we could chew to start
Oh,
with.
of course, makes complete sense.
But
what you're doing
so-
sounds, I think it sounds mega. Like it sounds like Brickset, Discord, trackers, like all kind of thrown into one, which I think is really cool.
I got a question though. If you're paying $5 a month subscription, you probably know where I'm going with this. The $5 a month subscription, and then you stop the subscription. Does the app suddenly start going bananas on you and doing stupid stuff? Stopping you from getting it? Good. That's a
we've been
proper app.
really careful with that. So
I wonder where he was going with that.
the only thing we occasionally have trouble with is sometimes when you sign up, your account doesn't become active immediately.
Right.
So I don't know why exactly. The tech stuff it's over my head. I don't really understand that.
But at the moment, this is just for USA, yeah? For the US.
Yeah. But we've got that really close. We opened up a separate Discord specifically for the app for customer service and whatever else goes on in there. That's been a big help. But it's pretty cool. So if you see in like whatever it is, Lego deals or something in Reddit, somebody found I don't know, it's pick a set, something $100 set, whatever it is. They found it for $50, and you're like, oh, I was just at my Walmart. It wasn't 50 there. The app will tell you, the 50 stores closest to you. It'll say it's $100 at this store. It's 75 at this one, 50 at that one, like that. It'll tell you exactly how many they have, what aisle they're in, and how many they have in the back room.
I always find that weird that it's the same shop but will have different prices.
Yeah, that doesn't happen here in the UK.
No.
So if you do end up, down the line doing it in the UK, then one price would be the price because they are very strict. I think it's to do with the legislation here because I know from working in retail for almost 30 years that things are very like this. Why isn't this price needs to be marked up? And even if it isn't marked up at that price, it'll always go through the till of that price because they update all the systems like that. And I'm talking like we're bigger and smaller chains, but I don't know why that doesn't exist in America, or if it does, why it's not, more sort of tin tight, if you like.
Yeah.
No, this sounds really interesting.
The stores are pretty messy. It's even on the shelves. I mean, I'm sure you've seen or heard about, hidden clearance at Walmart because the prices will change in the system before they change on the shelf. So you'll look at the shelf and it'll say it's $50 and rings up at 35 at the register. Well, as long as one person has noticed that and shared it, it'll update in our app exactly that who saw it and where. And then you go, okay, well, great. Now I'm going to check myself. So it's pretty simple.
Just a quick shout out to Ostiv and Nimble, who's popped in.
It's Ken with two ends as well, by the way, Martin.
Oh, right. Oh.
That's right. One end is my dad.
And my dad. In fact, that's my middle name.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I've got a question. I've got a question for from True Squadron here. What is Ken's favorite Lego piece color?
Favorite Lego piece color. Ooh.
I'm going to say black because I don't think I've ever seen him wearing anything else but black or possibly white.
Yeah, I do have a couple other colors. What color did I get? I think I might have ordered a pepper shirt from you the other day.
Ooh.
That's not black.
It's close. It's black adjacent though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you are to black whilst if it's to grey. It's just shades of grey.
Yeah, kind of. I try real hard to get other colors. I mean, there's a bunch of other ones in the closet, but
Happy now?
They don't see a lot of light.
Yeah.
There you go. Two ends.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh.
What was the old?
So I was busy because my other hosts were
Like the
here on time, so that's why.
I was here on time. What do you mean?
Yeah, no, the other one.
Yeah. Less said the better.
But on your app, quickly,
you're not telling me off for missing out an N.
But on your app, quickly. I think when did I first hear about it? It was ages ago. I heard about it and I went and had a look and it really intrigued me. And then I'll be honest, I was devastated when I found out it was only US based at this point. But however, I get the whole crawl, walk, run. You got to master your own market before you can look into others. And I eagerly await it eventually coming over this way. Because if you didn't know, getting clearance over here anywhere is just like needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
Needle in a haystack.
Yeah, it's. I think we'll get there eventually. So,
We
Well,
don't have anything like
I
that.
do think our bottom prices tend to be better sometimes,
I think so.
on the whole.
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
our eventual bottom price.
Yeah, but it's finding that eventual bottom price, isn't it? Like
Oh, yeah.
the best
Wow.
clearance I think I've ever found was after Christmas. It was Tesco's, and I bought four Emperor's Throne Room dioramas for 35 a piece.
It's not bad.
And that's the best clearance I've ever had. I've never seen anything else apart from maybe like your old battle packs here and there that have been cleared off for like
Yeah, don't
50%
forget
off.
the box of Boyz that you
Yeah,
you wrote so much for.
but
Yeah, but
Emperor's Throne Room for 60% off. I was like, go on.
Wow, yeah.
and I think, you know, that what Padawan says there, and obviously what Kenn is describing. I think there's a niche in the market for this. Now, I'm not trying to suggest you guys are the first to necessarily do it. It's difficult to be the first to do anything in this world, and in this sub community. But I definitely think that we've never really covered it. We've talked about, I got it for this, I got it for that. Weekly pickups, it might come up. We've never really thought about, and until I kind of stumbled on it through talking to yourself, Kenn, and I was just like, what? Like, what? Yeah, it's like a kind of light bulb went on, because even when we started doing this channel and obviously following other people's channels, bigger channels or whatever, you never really make a big thing. It's always just kind of like a sub conversation on whether it be on the Discord or whether it be on chats or whatever, where it's like, I got this for so-and-so, go and check it out, guys. And I'm thinking, why would we not make a bigger thing of that? Well, now would we not have a banner to say, guys, this can be found in so-and-so, this can be found in so-and-so. And of course, that's just on a live stream. But to go on the side and be like, right, let's start building a business out of this. When I say building a business at this point, I like to think you guys are probably just putting in those foundation blocks and making something that's kind of, you know, but of course, when this takes off, I'm not going to say if this takes off, but when this takes off, it's going to be, you know, quite a big thing. And just considering the fact that the first conversation I had with you, you were in the process of building it, and now it's kind of up and running, it's great to see. So,
well, you say that he's probably not the first, but it's the first I've ever heard of it, in the sense of like the way that I'm picturing it in my head is this could be the StockX for Lego. Do you know what I mean? Not the buy and selling part, but like the tracking down and like the hot stock of like finding where like the best stuff is and like the lowest prices are. Because it's the first I've heard of like a dedicated web app or, you know, a service that finds.
I think, is it Brick Fanatics? They do a similar where they tell you if there's something, you know.
When I think of Brick Fanatics, though, I just think of a blog, like just solely a blog, and like a couple of like I think what like Kenn's trying to do, I think, is outshining what some other people do.
Yeah.
It's definitely untapped territory. I only said I didn't want to say it because if you make a statement like that, and then I actually know this so and so and this so and so and this so and so, whatever. I guess Kenn would probably know better than anybody if there's anybody else doing that kind of thing. But either way, it's definitely untapped potential, because if there's 3 people just between the 4 of us who've never heard of anything like this, then of course you're already on to a winner, regardless who else is doing it. So
yeah, we're working on getting real-time pricing in there. There's some hurdles, so it's been an adventure. We want to get it to the point where Walmart, Target, with Best Buy, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, whatever, whenever they have a sale or the price changes, there's real-time updates, like just in your wanted list in the app. Simple things like that, because we all spend too much money. Let's style that in, save everybody as much money as we can. And we want to make it as close to free as possible. The app will always be free. The stock checker cost me a lot of money, so we have to put a little price on that. But $5 a month, I think, is reasonable.
So, well, at this point, I think I'm going to pin the link, because we have got a very large US. I don't want to say following. That sounds a bit kind of my own backside, but there's a lot of people in the chat who are in the US. So it's, you know, just read out the link again for me, Kenn.
To go directly to the app, it's app.thebrickdynasty.com. or you can just go to thebrickdynasty.com and everything we do is there. Unfortunately, I run the website, so the website itself kind of sucks, but everything at least works.
Martin, you need to make me an ad. You need to make me a moderator for your channel so I can bloody put links in.
I've just done it, but you can only have 2 people. See, you can only have 2 people.
Channel, you can have multiple mods on the YouTube channel. Not for StreamYard, just for YouTube.
I thought you already were.
No, I don't think I am.
I'm pretty sure I set you up on YouTube for something. I'll have to check. I'll have to double check. I thought you were in there as admin, to be honest, so you can delete videos.
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah. But if somebody's not letting me put links in, I don't know. Anyway,
it's up there now. Anyway, guys. So just at this point, use the link. I don't care about you leaving the stream for a couple of seconds. I'm not that up my own backside, or we're not up our own backside. So hit that link. Go over to this will take you to the website where you'll see the link tree. Start it as a favorite for the website, and then come on back. But what I urge you guys to do, especially in the US, is to go back and check out those links in the link tree, because obviously there's quite a few things in there. We'll do the merch later. Yeah, I've got that queued up, ready to go. And of course, obviously, check out this. Do we call it an app because it's not officially an app? You said
it's a web app.
Yeah,
it's a web app, right? So we want you to check. Let's just call it an app for argument's sake, because obviously, I don't really know the difference if I'm honest. But I want you guys to go on there, sign up, and obviously, if you want to pay that $5 a month, obviously, I 100% encourage that. But as Ken said, the app itself is free. Register on there, and then obviously start, because obviously from what I can gather, from what little I know about these kind of things, is the more people who are kind of inputting information, the more credible the system gets, right?
Yep, for sure.
So, and just like anything else, the more input you're putting in, the more information is flowing through there, the more kind of rambunctious and the more kind of, it casts a wider net across the US. If we can have pings coming in from all over the US or all over wherever the catchment area is, then you create like a map, almost like a heat map of the whole of the US, where it's like anyone can be, I'm traveling across the US for business. I know that there's a boom, I can hit this, I can hit this, and I can hit this. But obviously that depends on the information, kind of loading in terms of, what people are seeing that's different to what's already out there, so.
Yeah, and really feedback is huge. We stare at this thing so much that you kind of get blind to your own product. So getting feedback from other people, okay, this part sucks, you should do this a little differently. We're completely open to friendly negative feedback, constructive feedback. It's tear it apart. Tell us, because we want to make it as good as we can. Once you get in, you could tell that we are not artistic people. It's very bland. It's very boring to look at. It just does what it's going to do. We don't want the app to be anything other than data related. You looked at like the Brick app and things like that, where they're trying to add social elements. There's plenty of awesome Discords out there. There's plenty of great channels out there. Yeah. We don't want to be that. We want to give people all of the information we can and have it be very unobtrusive. Take it out of your pocket, you look at it quick, see what you're going to see, put it back in your pocket, go back to your business.
That's so sad.
I was just about to say, I think from what you're saying, the best way is it's going to be heavily data driven, which is good, because you don't need all the other stuff kind of like getting in the way. You just want to be able, like I said, whip it out. Right, okay, there's one air bosh, right, done, off we go.
Yep.
But at the same time, at this point in time, is it also going to be quite community driven with like the pricing and stuff at this point in time? That's where you're trying to find the price tracking, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually, will it just? It will all come together. It'll be so data heavy that it will kind of like run itself, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, more or less. So if you're at the store and I don't know. We just built it, so we'll use that as the creator spider. It's like $8 or something. If you see it and it's $6, you just type in the set number. There's a little price tracking thing. You hit the plus, enter in the price, send it, and then it shows up in the feed. So anybody who opens that feed can see that price now. So I don't know, 30 seconds, it's done, it's back in your pocket, you can move on with your life.
Nice. I think this is going to be hot down the line, big time. It sounds
It's
so
smoking
good.
hot. I'm excited listening to it because I like all that kind of stuff. I like the idea of it, even though I'm not the best at using these things. I just like and obviously I like it for you, Ken, and obviously the fact that we've connected through one way or another, and it's just kind of, it's flourished into the point where we're kind of comfortable and excited to kind of meet in person, I guess, at Brickworld. But also it's like, go on, that's my boy, you're my boy, Blue. So you're taking something off and you're flying off into space, and it's like, want to be there with him, but go you, like, kind of thing. And that's what this community is about. And everybody in the chat, if you don't give a massive dub for something like that, then I don't know what you will give it for, because it's success. But also it ain't, from the way Ken has been talking and obviously the information he's given us, it isn't how am I going to make some money, how am I going to make it big? It's how am I going to give something to the community that's useful?
Yep. And
then, the money is a back burner. And I got that from you, that aura from you, just from the fact that it was like, we're doing a charity streamathon, immediately in the DMs, I'll donate something. What? Who are you? Oh, I'm going to donate this set and this set. And I'm like, are you joking? Those are 2 sets that, I had to save all weeks for, and you're just giving them away. Yeah, we're and I'm just like, there's got to be a catch to this. Jumped on your guys' stream, saw what you guys were like, and it was just speaking to you and Saunders, and like obviously the work ethic you guys have got, how well you get on together, bounce off each other, everything that kind of goes into Brick Dynasty, and I'm just like, oh, this is inspirational stuff. So I'm with you all the way, and obviously I can't offer anything in terms of help or support that'll probably be of any use to you, but anything you need, mate, just give us a shout and we'll back you all the way. So
I appreciate that. This is the most I've ever talked about it already.
You need to talk about it more.
Yeah, I am the worst at promoting anything ever, which I'm trying to do a service to the community by building this, but I'm also doing it a disservice by not mentioning it. So
no, it is hard to be your own self-promoter sometimes. Like I'll say that I don't like to do that, but then I kind of, working in retail, you kind of do it automatically sometimes. And of course, when you're on social media and everything you're doing is self-promotion, every time you put out a YouTube video, regardless of what it is, it's self-promotion. But of course, it's doing it for you indirectly. So you don't feel like I'm going, hey, look at me. But that is effectively what we're all doing, right? You're not doing it for, who else are you doing it for? You're doing it for other people to look at, right? You might not care about how many likes, how many comments and stuff you get. That's believable. But you ain't doing it for nobody to look at, because there'd be no point doing it at all. So, but look, I think you're right, though. It is sometimes hard to be like, ooh, like the stream, comment. You can type it maybe, and you can have it appear across the bottom of the screen, but to physically say it and get into your own corner sometimes, this is why we rely on each other to do that. And obviously that's what we're here to do, is to promote you, to promote the channel, and obviously promote something that you're, like I said, you're giving back. You've thought first, what do people need? How will they benefit? And this is what I think is, I don't want to go off on a complete tangent, but I think is wrong with society and the youngsters today is they got no work ethic, because their first thought is, what's in it for me? Whereas I was always brought up to, it doesn't matter about fame, fortune. If all those things come, great. It should always be, how can you be useful to society? How can you be useful to a woman who wants to buy frozen food? Because that's how it started for me. And I'm not changing the world. I'm not trying to crack an atom. I'm not sending people. I'm not saving lives. Effectively, I was putting bags of peas in the cabinet, right? Nobody would miss me, kind of thing. But I can still be useful to people. I can still help people out. You know what I mean? And you've got to start with something humble like that. And this is, I think, what is effectively all about. And this, again, it's everything that's wrong with society today is everybody thinks about themselves first. So I think it's fantastic. And #1 fan, definitely, if it wasn't clear already. But anyway, so look, obviously we kind of segued, but that was strategic in that we needed a segue into that, because it's a big and it's a fantastic topic. And I definitely think we're going to top back up on it. And I want people in the chat to let us know, have you registered? Have you put your information down? Let us know. Let's just do some live. I'm on there. I've connected. I'm on the app, whatever. I've checked it out. and keep that coming throughout the streams, because I just want people to sort of get that information. And anything you do create in terms of promotion for it, mate, and you don't feel comfortable doing it, send it to me. I'll promote the shit out of it because I think it's fantastic.
Right on.
You know, and to no gain of my own, obviously, other than the fact that, you know, copying you guys into it, sharing it with you guys, collaborating, whatever. But no. So go back to your, you know, how Brick Dynasty came, because at this point, obviously, you've got to the point where you're in the Discord, you started building this thing. Go back to that sort of story for us.
So, trying to think. Yeah. So it was the Kickflips Discord at the time. His group, they did a lot of sneaker flips and whatnot. A little too much on the scalping side of things for my taste, but they did a lot of that. And they wanted, for the people that were actually making some money and had the cash flow for it, it was okay. Lego investing, there's a good connection there, right? You already understand how to sell on Amazon or Walmart or eBay or whatever. This way you could take some of your cash flow, put it into Lego and stick it off to the side. And everybody was losing money and doing it wrong and just being stupid. So I went in and basically straightened out that stuff. And then he merged into another group and brought me along, and it just went and it went, and it kept growing. We've had a lot of fun over there. That one I basically never promote. That's going to change. No, I have to skip that part for the stream because that contract's not public yet. But things are changing. But that group, it's a little odd to talk about because I stay on the investing side. I don't like anything related to, I don't like the term scalping, but scalping basically.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what goes on the other side of that group, like the sneaker kids and Pokemon and all of that. I try to discourage that whenever possible, because for Lego, that doesn't make sense. Don't buy new releases and then, scalp them, because you're going to lose money. Not only is it dirty, but you're going to lose money because the retailers are all just going to restock. You're going to be stuck with this product for forever. So try to explain to them not to do that. That takes a lot. These kids are young. They're feisty. They hear that you can make a lot of money with Lego and they don't understand how it works. So
I think I saw, we've all probably seen it. We're all kind of, long enough in the tooth to have seen. And I think a lot of it stems from this huge thing that happened, when social media was still, or not so even social media, the internet was still relatively young. And we were just seeing I think I was watching some BBC program just to kind of go a little bit further back and show what I believe is the grounds for why scalping exists as it does. And it was just talking about how these Star Wars figures are worth, from the 80s, are worth like hundreds and thousands of pounds or whatever it might have been, probably only in hundreds at that point, and it just seemed like a lot. And I was just like, oh, I sold mine, and it was just this big thing. I remember something similar happened with some piggy bank things they used to give away, Matt, and you might remember them.
Nat West.
Yeah, and those became, so anybody who knows what I'm talking about will know what I'm talking about. But to bring it back to Star Wars and Lego, I guess, aim towards Lego, they just kind of had this thing where it's like, well, but it was just a kind of one-off thing. Like, nobody was keeping their figures in the 80s. Nobody would have even dreamt of it. And I say nobody, a handful of people decided, I'm going to keep these in the packaging for whatever reason, might even be by accident, right? And that is so. But now everybody thinks, oh, well, I've got a Boba Fett figure, and that's what I'm like, hang about. No, the reason this one was worth thousands of pounds is because in pristine condition. So not only was he the one person out of millions who decided to keep it, but he was also a guy who kept it in very good condition. And after all those years, it's impossible to keep something good. I've got stuff that was in storage for 20 years, never touched. The box was fine. It was always, but yeah, when I unpacked them 20 years later, some of the boxes were in terrible condition. They'd never seen the light of day. So it doesn't always work, unless it's like kind of hermetically sealed or whatever. It's almost impossible to do and replicate. So from that, I started seeing in when I was buying and collecting then, which was kind of Power of the Force era. So just before special edition came out, they re-released all these kind of figures, and this is when kind of you had Buff Luke, and Buff Chewbacca and all.
Oh, I had a lot of
like,
those. I had a lot of
looking like
those.
Thundercats, you know,
Yeah.
and that's just an example. There was other Hasbro lines. They were doing sort of micro machines and all sorts of different stuff, right? And this was because of the special edition that came out kind of 1997-ish time, so 20th anniversary, and of course in the run up to the prequels. And then, of course, when the prequels come out, it just kind of boomed even further. And people were just thinking, oh, I remember when those figures from when I had them as a kid were worth thousands of pounds later. So I'm just buying all this stuff and keep. But what they don't realize is that everybody else watched the news and saw the information. So if everybody else is keeping those Power of the Force figures in packaging, then they ain't going to be worth everything, because it's not worth something because you've kept it in a packaging. It's worth something because nobody else did. There wasn't enough. So the demand for it was high.
Supply and demand.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So if there's 1,000 people now suddenly collecting Power of the Force figures and they've got them sealed, they ain't going to be worth anything because they're more readily available. And people just never.
I'll tell you now, they're not worth any, because I tried selling some. They're not.
Exactly. So I resold all mine for barely any much more than what, and I went back into Lego. And I learned that lesson. And I was like, from day one, I'm never going to buy anything to invest it. And when I say day one, I'm talking 2016, 2017, when I first started getting and collecting Lego. But I was still seeing people falling for that. Oh, well, the information came out about the bomber, the what do you call it? Resistance bomber, about that. And it's like, oh, whatever you right. And they just don't think to themselves that it was just a one-off fluke thing that happened, that there was just so happened if you were so happened to keep that sealed. Nobody went out and bought that and thought, this is going to be a collector's item because of this. I'm going to keep it sealed. It's just somebody like me who, just because of my circumstance, didn't have a chance to open that set or didn't break that. And then suddenly was like, whoa, that could happen. I've got sets that are sealed. But people always think, oh, are you keeping them sealed because you're hoping they're going to be worth something? No, it's just circumstance. It might be just sheer good luck. But that person, and then everybody's like, oh, well, if I buy lots of these and keep them sealed, they're going to be worth. And I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that, because you're not the only person who's had that idea. It's not an original idea anymore. Original ideas are worth gold. Copying other people's ideas is worth nothing. So, and it's just gone on this thing. And I remember the first one I remember seeing where I felt like it turned into something, an epidemic. And then I feel like from there, a lot of people started learning the lesson, was the X-Wing that came out with the Princess Leia. Do you remember, guys, that? You must have seen it, where people were selling them. And I'm thinking, it's still for sale in the shop for whatever it was, 30 quid. And people were selling them on Facebook Marketplace for 40, 50 quid. And I was like, what? They don't really understand. And it's like, so I would just, for a joke, I would kind of comment and say, how many of these have you got available? I'm interested. Oh, I've got about 20 of them. And then I'd be like, why? Why? Like, what is it you think you've got that nobody else has got, kind of thing? And of course, I was at this brick event yesterday, and this kind of brings it down to and I saw that they were selling I don't know what you want to call it, the mashup set, the TIE Fighter and X-Wing, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the show off the top of my head.
The Rebuild the Galaxy.
Rebuild the Galaxy. And they were every seller had 2 or 3 of them, and every single one of them was selling them for lower than the price they had to go out and buy them now. And most of the other sellers there were selling, like, Rex's Y-Wing was on there, but it was a little bit lower than the price to go and buy it in the shop now. Not much lower, but a little bit lower. But everything, that was the only set that I saw. And I'm thinking, if I was going to buy that, I'd buy it from that event. But they've obviously bought lots of them, like they do, because they're resellers. And realized this is a stinker. It ain't gonna be any good. I'll get rid of it now, because it's just gonna be,
I mean, let's be honest. When that one came out and the Droid one came out, it was obvious that those two were just not going to be sellers. So
absolutely. So anyway, look, that was a massive segue, and apologies for kind of. But a lot of people don't know the kind of. I was kind of reading the history of that since before the internet, and just seeing on the news or Blue Peter or something, wow, this guy's got this figure, and everybody watching it thinking, wow, I've got an amazing idea. I'm going to keep all my figures from now on. Too late. As soon as they broadcast it, it's just like when you see things on, like, I don't know, TikTok or Instagram, where people say, get yourself down to so-and-so, they're giving these away for £1. Immediately, as soon as I see that, I'm like, I'm not going, because they're already gone. As soon as someone's made it public, you ain't going to get it. You know, I mean, it's a little bit different. I know that's the kind of basis of the app you guys have created, but that's different because we're talking like larger scale. But I'm talking about these limited things where it's like, oh, guys, I just went to Tesco and they had a Lego set, or let's not say a Lego set. This shampoo went through the till at £1. I'm like, well, the sooner you put it on Instagram, thousands of people have seen it before me. There's no chance. I'm not even going to go down there, but it gets everybody running down. Oh, where's this thing for £1? And it's just like, people just don't get it. Like, you know, it's too late, too little, too late. But anyway, it's nice to. I've seen that and obviously learn from it, and I'm seeing other people slowly start learning from it. But it is, you know, a very interesting and kind of almost comedic thing to see going on out there at the moment. But you know, you guys are obviously on the ball. But yeah, sorry, mate. So back to. So when did we see Brick Dynasty first kind of appear?
Yeah, hello, Ken. We forgot you were there.
I'm making up for the lost time, mate. The lost 17 minutes.
Oh.
So I don't know, because Brick Dynasty takes so many shapes because we're kind of in so many different spots. The YouTube channel, which I guess is basically why I'm here, more or less.
Yeah.
That happened because we just wanted to be more in the community than just doing what we were doing kind of behind the scenes. So we started that, and you know, we started with build nights and talking about, you know, deals and promotions that are coming out and things like that, and talking a little bit on the investing side where it's okay, this is retiring this year, sharing a little bit of the data because we're data junkies and we track everything for a long time, and we talk about that stuff. And then once the 48-hour live stream came, when you did that, right about that, we had so much fun. It was like, okay, well, let's shift gears with the channel and let's do loose form interviews, more or less. So one person on, you know, Saunders and I, and then one guest when Saunders was around, and stick with that. So we can really learn about people more and really see who's in the community. Because shows like this are fantastic, and I love all the banter and all the craziness and things that go on. But you don't really learn who the people are. You kind of learn some of what they're into and, you know, specific topics, but you don't really get a whole feel for who the person is. So that's what we're trying to do with the show. And whatever we are. When was that live stream you ran, the 48-hour stream? That was 17th
of January.
Okay, so we're 5 months in or something now, 4 months in, somewhere in there. And we've been having a blast. It's been a great time so far.
So because I popped on the show, I think it was a couple of days after the stream that weekend. Yep. So had you had guests prior to me?
No.
Ah, so I was the guinea pig.
Yep. You came on with us, and then the following week we had Jen Builds. She was on.
That's right, yeah.
And we had a blast with Jen. She's fantastic. What a personality on her.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Yeah, we had a great time. And now we're starting to book for July. So it's been a good time.
So I took some inspiration a little bit as well from planning ahead with guests. Because I think I started seeing you guys do that. And then the other thing I haven't done, which I want to do, is celebrate success with guests. Now, we did it at our first sort of 10 episodes mark, which kind of took us, you know, a couple of months to get to that point. We had everybody kind of come on and do, if you get a chance to go back and check it out, episode 10, where we had a kind of rate your battle pack. There's a lot of work that went into that, and I haven't been able to replicate that in any way since, but we hope to do something kind of end of summer, but where we kind of all picked our best 3 battle packs. It was called Battle of the Battle Packs or something like that. And we add on all of our previous guests from episodes 1 to 10, as well as a few other special guests. And it was a really good show. And it still holds its weight in terms of the analytics of that show. Again, don't want to go into talking to that too much, but it's just in terms of, like, you know, that really helped us. Of course, the guests who came along helped, but it really helped us in terms of showing it as a really true variety show, but obviously with an underlying theme. So having lots of different things going on, and obviously it's blossomed a little bit since then. Organically changed. But I was quite interested by what you were saying then about Jen. So Jen's another person I've connected with. How did you find Jen? How did you get to know Jen?
I found her through your stream. She was one of the only ones there that was on Instagram, which I thought was kind of different. And I went and checked that out, and I really enjoyed her show. So I'm like, hey, Jen, it'd be great if you were on YouTube. So I helped, promote that and help get her up to 50 subs so she could get on YouTube. And then I don't know exactly what happened. She tried. She didn't like the format. Something didn't happen. So she stuck to Instagram.
Did she try using StreamYard?
Well, I think that might have been part of the problem. And it's a shame. I can't stand Instagram for live streams.
Yeah, I can't get to do.
You can't walk away from it. With YouTube, I could put the headphones on, throw it in my pocket, turn the screen black, whatever.
Yeah.
Move on with my life. With Instagram, as soon as you close the window down, there's no audio. It's gone.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Like I want to listen to all you guys all the time. But I have things to do. I can't be looking at the screen.
It's very much one way, isn't it? Like I know you can split screen and have other people on and stuff, but it does. Yeah, I haven't been able to get on with it. I tried doing a vlog via that, and it didn't work for me. So, although I tried it on YouTube and that didn't work either, but it's got to be ironed out a little bit. But no, it was great to hear that you connected through us. I'm pretty sure she said that as well, because I wouldn't say I helped her, probably nowhere near as much as you, but we did kind of support her transition over to YouTube. I didn't realize that she was having issues with it as such, but just kind of gave us some pointers. And I'm the last person to be giving people advice on technical stuff, but no, this is the kind of great stuff to hear. The fact that obviously there's a little bit of influence come from each other, even at this kind of foot soldier kind of level. We're taking a bit of inspiration from each other, and then obviously connecting each other. This was the whole point of the cold stream thing, is where I wanted to the cold fusion stream, where I wanted to just try to connect people who perhaps didn't know each other, because that's the reason I've gotten to know people, is through other people, if that makes sense. So you kind of have this whole everybody hold hands type thing, which I think is great. And obviously because it helped me so much, both personally and in the way the channel kind of grew, I want to kind of do what you guys are doing with the app and just kind of pay it forward and try and help other people, whether they're just starting out or whether they're stuck wherever they are up the top, to kind of get to know more people and expand their net. So it was good. But like I said, very influential, the stuff that you guys have done. But yeah, like I said, I got the chance to pop on to kind of guest co-host when you did the bricks and minifigures thing. And you do a very good job of, and again, this is me advertising for the channel again to our chat, but you do a very good job of finding those kind of niches within the community of this, and that's the bit that I'm like, I don't think I know enough about these things. So the fact that you had somebody on who was opening a bricks and minifig store, first of all, where the hell did you find this guy and how? And agreed to be on the show, even though he probably didn't know you from Adam. And obviously you went to so much detail, and it was like, and you didn't even have to do a lot of, I felt like I was trying to fill in gaps like I do right now, right? But he was so keen to sort of just talk and just tell us everything about it. And I thought that was fascinating for me. And I've watched it back.
The question about that is, why don't we have them over here? We don't have anything like that, do we? We don't have any alternative Lego shop.
I did ask about any opportunity to branch out to the Europe, and I can't remember what he said, but yeah, the only thing that got me is what was his actual name, because I thought his name was Clark, but when he was on, he was called something else, wasn't he?
Ryan. So Clark, excuse me. Clark is his Discord handle. It's his last name. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because I was like, yeah, I'm going to be on tonight with Clark from Bricks and Minifigs. And then it was
that's how I was promoting it too. Like, oh yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, but he's been a paid member in our Discord for I think probably close to a year now.
Right.
And he's been using our app to help source discounted sets to bring into his store. So through that, we've messaged a bunch of times, and they said, just keep me updated on progress. And he stuck with it, and he was giving me updates. I'm like, okay, well, now it would be awesome. Now that you're close, come on the show and let's talk about it. So
yeah,
that worked out well.
No, it was good. It was like I said, and every time I sort of tune into what you've got coming up or what you've done, you're trying to find a good variety. Now, what we try to do is have a mixed bag on every episode. Whereas with you, it's like an episode dedicated, exactly like what you said, where we kind of touch the surface of these people a little bit and then move on and do a little bit more. And you guys are more focused on really getting to the heart of that person and what they do. And so guys, there's a real reason there to watch both channels. We're not competing with each other, completely different timelines.
Yeah,
and I'd like to be able to say that. I'd like to be able to say that I could tune into the show more often, but unfortunately, because of the way the timing works, it's very difficult for the UK people to be as interactive with the US shows, sadly. But I suppose it makes more sense to be that way than the other way, because obviously it's a bigger audience. So,
well, like I said before, that show that we did with you and Saunders was still one of my favourites. So
yeah, it was fantastic.
It
was fun as well, and and I can still remember somebody mentioning Victoria's Secrets, which still makes me laugh.
Do you know what? It's funny you say that. So what I started doing is I started making a little list of funny things or conversations that go on during a stream, and the idea being to clip them and turn them into kind of YouTube shorts to advertise the channel, right? Because YouTube shorts is obviously where the growth is. I've never actually gone ahead and done it apart from maybe one. And no offense, but it was because Tyler was on the show and I thought, right, that might be a bit of a pull.
I suppose you never clipped that one where I was blue.
I haven't done any of them, mate. I haven't done any of them, but I made a note of them, and that's as far as I get. It's just like anything.
Secret.
But 2 minutes and 47 seconds into the, I've got it here linked. In fact, it says, just so I can remember, it says, can you see what it says at the top, Ken? You'll get that.
Fuck you. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's from the film, innit? But anyway,
yeah,
it's a Boston thing. But 2 minutes. Is it 2 minutes or 2 hours? It must be 2 hours and 47. It can't be 2 minutes and 47. I probably still would have been sorting out my audio. It must be 2 hours and 47 minutes in.
Yeah.
Brick Dynasty, Victoria's Secret? Question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark. And I just thought I got to put that. So I remember going,
that's the older ones were just sniggering away.
I can't even remember what the topic was. I just remember it was quite funny. So we'll have to
I was
go back.
comparing Monkey Kid to Ninjago.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Right. Look, I'm just gonna fit Google head.
Have you still not built it yet?
Look at that.
I'm sort of building at the end of it now. Yeah.
And how are you feeling at the moment, mate? Has the Lego helped?
How am I feeling? Yeah, I've got if it's okay, I'll just stick that up then, just to let everyone know. My little medical update.
Martin, do not be as dramatic as you were with me.
Okay. Everything's fine. It's not life-threatening. Sorry, Padawan, I didn't mean it to come across like that. Well, basically, what people do know, because obviously 2 weeks ago I couldn't come on because I was sent to hospital and blah, 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 with pains in my chest. Heart's fine, everything like that. They put a camera down my gob.
You got one?
And they stuck a camera down my gob on Thursday.
No, I said you got the heart. You said your heart's fine. I said you have got one then.
Yes. I have two, actually, because I'm a Time Lord. Anyway. So basically, it's esophagitis. They found a small hiatus hernia and 2 ulcers.
Did you have it written down just in case I asked?
No, it's on my hospital form. So I had two. They found 2 ulcers. So basically, I'm just on medication. I've been told that I'm fine to go to Brickworld. So there's no worries about that. The only problem I'm having at the moment is I feel great myself, but the pain. the pain is still there, and when I swallow food, it does. It's gradually getting easier, but it's so hopefully in 2 weeks we've got now 16 days to go for. Well, it's 13 for Padawan, but 16 but 16 for us. So hopefully I'll be fine to eat. So Martin, so they didn't just find one ulcer, they found two.
Jesus.
So what does that mean? Double bubble.
Christ. I knew you gotta get it in there somewhere.
I have to get it in there somewhere, mate, every week. But yeah, as you can see, it hasn't affected my sense of humor. I'm a lot better. I'd just like to say thank you for everyone, though, that was sending me, get wells and nice, wishes and stuff. So thank you very much. But yeah, but also I'd like to give a shout out to Hive as well, because he gave watched the show today. He gave the show a shout out, Martin. So
on GMB.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's coming next week, isn't he? So, he gave us a nice shout out. Told everyone to go over and watch us. So, cool.
So I'm quite disappointed because now that we find out that Martin is alive and well, I mean, I'm not obviously disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm happy that you're well.
What?
But
you get that fucking old
yeah, I still see that. But we don't get to do this. We don't get to do this at Brickworld because we thought what did you do? You started this, mate, because you said I don't care how ill I am, even if I'm dead, I'm still going to Brickworld. And I was like,
I don't think I said dead. I said even if I have to come on a stretcher.
Me and Slurpee carrying around it.
Yeah, good film though. But
slowly decomposing like John. Yeah.
Thank you, Liam, as well. Yeah, it is like I say. Things are hopefully looking out. It was a bit worrying at the time because I didn't know what it. It's the most. Honestly, I've never had a pain like it. Worse than toothache. Yeah. So, but like I said, just resting, taking the meds, and yeah, so it should be fine. Still going to. So I still will be there. Yeah. So Brickworld. And no, Martin, you can't sell my Lego yet because I'm still here.
Well, I was just about to say I have got your blockhead here somewhere, but don't ask me where. It's here somewhere though.
Yeah, I got that to pick up. I got human jabber to pick up.
It's already in the box, ready to go.
I'll tell you what, like I said, I packed my suitcase today, and all I've got in there is basically underwear, t-shirts, and shorts. I've got room for nothing. I'm not even going to be able to bring my brick box of Boyz.
Never really.
I just don't think I'm going to be able to, especially if
That's
I
want. You can use Martin's. That's fine.
Because I've already got what do you call it? Oh yeah, I could always use that just for temporary and take a picture and that'll do. But I mean, like I said, I've already got like a couple of things from Acop to bring back. I want to try and get the jaw on or the Bespin jaw or jaw on Bespin, whichever it is, which is probably about a box about that big. So, but that's about it. I'm not going to be able to bring back much. So.
Hey, worst case scenario, I might have some room so you can throw it in my suitcase.
Yeah.
But then again, there is always that I can look at when coming back to see how much it might cost me to buy a cheap one, a suitcase, and how much it costs me to take back.
I was just
it's usually cheaper. It's cheaper that way going back from America than it is taking it. It's not, it's 120 quid if I want to take a suitcase.
Where to? Where?
To America on British Airways.
Yeah.
Is it? Are you flying British Airways? You flying American Airlines? Oh, I'm flying American Airlines. I am.
British Airways there and American Airways on the way back.
I'm doing American Airlines both ways.
I mean, it just shows a difference. Padawan. The seat we booked for British Airways was £42 something.
You paid to book your seat
just so we could sit together. Yeah, because we.
Oh, right, you're sitting together. Okay,
yeah,
that's
the only problem with that.
I found the cheapest aisle seat that was free, and I was like, "That'll do. I don't care if it's near the toilet."
So it's £42 something, yeah. But on the way back with Air America, it's £9.10. So big difference. So I'm going to
only that, but
look into that.
I wanted to sit. I don't know what it is. I don't know if anyone else gets this, but I like to recline my seat, but I also feel guilty reclining my seat. And I've been sat behind people who literally get on the plane, recline their seat immediately, and then spend the rest of the journey sat forward. And I'm just like, look, mate, if you're just going to sit forward, put it back forward, and then put it back when you want to sit back. The idea of the recliner is for you to lay back and relax. But they're just
we're at the back row, aren't we? So we've got
they even had their food brought around to them. And I said to the woman, look, my tray is it's already in my gut. So I can't. She said, I'll tell him to put it forward. So she said, excuse me, while we're eating food, can you make sure you put it forward? And they're like, oh. They put it forward, waited for the woman to go, and then put it back. And I'm thinking, do you not think that there's other people in the world except for yourself? Like, just people like that. And I just think, so where we've got it, you can recline back, but there's nobody behind us, so I don't have that guilt.
But saying that, it was £42 for the seat. But if we wanted is it the window one? Wasn't it something like 96 quid or something like that? It was ridiculous. Yeah,
I don't care, but I know what a sky and clouds look like. Yeah. They're above me all the time. So
currently, my flight's dead. I got this is all the seats that are available. There's loads of them left.
Yeah.
But I went paying 90 quid. £90 they wanted for an exit seat. I was like, get fucked. I'm not paying that. So I paid for. I got the free one. There was an aisle one that was free, and I was like, I'm having that. Cheers.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't think there was any free ones on ours. They might have been slightly cheaper, but they weren't. None of them were free, as in like cost free. So.
Well, I think if we just got on there without booking, we might not have been sat.
Hey, could be worse. You could have had to have Ostif ring American Airlines just so I could go into my account and book my seat.
Chat, it's ready. Hello, it's ready.
Do you guys know about that? Did I tell you?
Go on, what's that?
So, cut long story short, I booked through British Airways, and because it was a flight because it was a flight with American Airlines, British Airways couldn't do my seat booking. So I was like, okay, cool. So I went on to American Airlines, put my American Airlines reference in, and they said, contact us because we can't do it right now. Okay, cool. So I looked at the list of numbers they give because they're like, I can't email them or anything. I had to ring them. I was like, sweet. The only number I had available that I could ring on, American Airlines, costed me £5 a minute to talk to them. I was like, I am not paying to talk to you about booking my seat. So I FaceTime Ostif. Ostif rang American Airlines because it was a domestic number, so it was free. And then we had a 3-way conversation over FaceTime talking to American Airlines just so I could log into my account and book my bloody flight.
Well, Padawan, all I'll say is next time you're booking a hotel and thing, I'm going to be in control of it so that, we don't have anything go wrong.
Hey, it's all right. Ostif took care of that. It's fine. I didn't have to do any of that. So luckily, I'd be sleeping in the bin outside the back of Brickworld.
No, that's one thing. When Martin said, I'll sort out the hotel, Martin, I was like, yeah, brilliant. Just, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I still got to book that yet, haven't I?
You done your Esters yet?
Yes. Done the Esther. No, he hasn't, but I have.
Nah.
Martin, you need to do your Esther. Worst case, what happens if you do it like 2 days before and they're like, yeah, sorry, not having it. And you're like, oh my God, it's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, get
it
done.
I've already been through American security customs and been isolated and put in like one of those rooms and
with a glove.
And then I just heard the snap of a rubber glove and I was like, ooh.
And then you get 2 hands on your shoulders. Yeah, it's not good.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I sorted mine out about 2-3 months ago now, I think.
I'm just going to, if TSA decide to go, so we're going to take you for secondary inspection, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get really excited about it. I'm like, yeah, go on, I'll take all my clothes off and just be like, okay, you can.
Yeah, God, you don't even have to use the glove.
But I made sure I got all my ducks in a row. They're going to be, hopefully they don't bloody.
I'm assuming that it's all connected to your passport now. I don't need to print it out, do I?
It is connected to your passport. However, I've always had the due diligence of just in case I print everything out anyway. So I print all my flight details out. I'll print my Esther out. I'll print everything I can so that worst case, like if they say to me, it's not coming up on your passport, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll show you on my phone. Oh, I got no signal. Oh, okay, well, it's all right. I got a paper copy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's 100% right.
Yeah, kind of a bit like that old school, like paper stuff. And, my son takes the mick out of me because I still use CDs and things. So,
But no, all I'll say is this: with the Esther, the main reason there's no reason not to do it now. But the reason I held off a little bit was because I think you get 2 years on them. Is it 2 years?
Yeah, but
And
it's only
obviously-
2 weeks now, Martin. It's not going to make.
No, but obviously we're planning to go back there, hopefully, back to the US. So I don't want to have to pay twice. So we try and get him within the catchment area.
Worst case is 15 quid. It's not like it's a. I'd understand if it was like a £200 bloody thing, but
I know.
£17, 53 pence.
all right,
But that's
whatever
one,
it is, it was $21.
that's one
whatever.
flower at the wedding, though. That's one flower
Yeah,
at the wedding. So we're gonna be one less flower. No, you're right. I just put it off to start with because I just wanted to double check the timings, and then I just have no excuse not to have done it now.
You'll
so
forget.
I won't do it.
You'll forget now. You'll get there and you'll be like, "Where's your
Yes.
Esther?" And you'll be like, shit."
Because is it
Yeah.
just me, or is everyone else quite surprised at bloody how quick it's suddenly come round? It's like Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and these last 2-3 weeks have been so slow for me. Normally, like time just flies for me, but as we get closer to Brickworld, the more I'm like, do you know what I mean? Trying to get it done.
Yeah, it seems to be coming quick to me. I mean, perhaps because I was off ill and stuff, but it just seems like, oh shit, yeah, it's shit. In 2 weeks' time, I've got to get better. I've got to, got to do this, got to do that.
Every time I bring it
Well,
up, Sam gets upset because she's the one that's got to drive me to Heathrow.
Well, what we needed really is somebody to just like constantly remind us with a countdown or something like that. That would have helped.
Well, but he's not here, unfortunately. He's left.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So look, let's turn it back. Let's turn it back to our guest because
Well, I've always
There's a couple-
got that there. Look, see, but World Hype, 16 days to go for me and you, Martin.
Same here. 16 days.
yeah, accommodation. Yeah, I'll get everything printed. I don't know how I'm going to do it. You might have to do the printing for me as well, man, because I don't have access to a printer.
No, me unless I go back to work. So hopefully I got.
Oh yeah, Christ, yeah. No, I could do it in work, but it's
I
a little
do
bit funny
need-
because
I do need to go
Suppose
back to work, hopefully before, because I don't want them saying, "Oh look, he's been ill off work, but you can go on holiday."
I think Brent's at a yard sale. Look at these cool mouse mats. He's just texted me saying, "The Lord of the Rings one, do you want it?" And I'm like, "Ooh, how much is that?" Hang on.
mate, the amount of Lord of the Rings stuff I saw yesterday, and I was like,
Yeah.
should I reach out to him? But
Nice.
just didn't have any free time. They do look cool.
They do.
Haven't heard anything back from that company that I wanted to collab with. Haven't even read my message. So
Was it? I might be wrong, Ken, but was it you that said you might have some orcs for sale? Was that you or something else?
No, I didn't end up buying the set. I'm still
right.
hoping for a better price.
Oh no, he was going. Were you buying Barrack-Dur?
Yeah, so I basically had it lined up at like 22.5% off. I'm convinced I can do better. If I can break 25% off, then I'll jump.
The thing is, what retailers are carrying it? Because I don't even know where. I think Barrack-Dur's. I don't even know if it's an Amazon exclusive over here or not.
Barnes & Noble has it here.
It's not
And-
Smiths here.
yeah, we really need an app to track the prices. Ooh, that's right.
Because
It's not a Lego exclusive, is it? Is it Lego?
no, it's just the point I'm bringing it up is so Ken, I don't know if you know, I don't know if how it affects you over there, but for example, Rivendell over here is an Amazon exclusive retail exclusive set, and because it's an exclusive set, they've got no competition as well as price as far as pricing goes, so they never discount it ever, and it winds me up.
Yeah.
Their Black Friday or Amazon Prime Day, they'll do a 5% off, and you're like, you cheeky fuckers, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same with the 8080. The 8080, when it was still about, it was a Smiths exclusive over here.
Yeah,
So
it's hardly
you
any-
never saw it on discount, and it was annoying. And I
look
hate
at the,
exclusives.
the mini scale the big. I can never bloody say it. Execution. The Darth Vader's one. Big.
The
Star
executive.
Destroyer. That's it, Executor.
Yeah.
That's a Smiths thing. That's never been. I've never even seen it a pound off. It's never been on sale. It's always been
For things-
$59.99.
For situations like that, we bank on the cashback sites, coupons, discounted gift cards, all of that.
There you
With
go.
Barnes & Noble, we've learned you can almost always get a minimum of 20% off of everything in the store.
Oh, that's cool.
So that works out well. I'm waiting for triple stamps to come back, so it'll be an extra 15% cash back.
And just to back up my point, here comes Amazon with absolute clutch 3% off.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Ooh, let's run down and get that. So that means so Smith's exclusive is the Jabba Cell bar, so that won't ever go down then either.
Well, you'll get your token
nice.
10%, maybe.
Yeah.
Because
3%.
that's another set I want. But yeah, because at least I mean certain places like take John Lewis for example, they've got they sell the Quest, don't they? And quite often I've seen that 415, 300 and something. So
what sometimes we do get lucky with, especially with the Star Wars sets, is they're carried on Disney Store. And sometimes Disney Store come out of the absolute nowhere and bang something on a 20%. I've seen an 80/80 once on 20% off on Disney Store. But it gets bought instantly.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't really look at Disney. Yes, shop I don't tend to look at, but I should do. Another one over here, like a cheap shop that we call it, is B&M. They do
B&M come in clutch sometimes.
Yeah,
B&M of the boys.
You see better deals on non-Star Wars Lego stuff a lot more. But
I recently bought, what was it, the Desert Skiff for 35 from B&M. I was like, oh, what deal?
I mean that set I got there, the Grogu set, that's 67 at the moment, which is still good. That's still like £22 knocked off. But Smiths are doing it for 65, so it's like, yeah, just.
I saw the twin pack, the Tie and the Snub Mandalorian Fang Fighter. That one for like 50 quid in a B&M. Never had it in the one near me, but this was a slightly larger store down near my parents. I was like, 50 quid. I already had it. I thought, do I need another one? But 50 quid, that was like crazy price. But you do, like I said, it would have been 50 quid everywhere else it is. So it's not like it was a kind of exclusive to that store or anything. But some of these deals
at your library if you don't have to go back to work.
Yep, that's a good point.
I don't know when most of our libraries will shut down.
What? Why?
Oh, I don't know. They're just a bit like our pubs.
And post offices.
Post offices, banks. I mean, that's the one good thing I didn't realise on my app. So when I do get paid on Friday, I literally go on my app, tell them how much money I want to exchange for American dollars, and as long as I do that by 3 o'clock that day, it gets delivered to my door the next day by 1 o'clock.
Delivered to your, like you actually get American money that shows up.
Yes.
Physically at your door.
Yeah. Really? I didn't know you could do that.
And obviously you've got to sign for it. Yeah, or you can go to your local branch, but like you said, most local branches are shut nowadays.
Yeah, they're paid
on Saturday.
Or really awkward opening times.
Yeah, and then and it's all like, I don't have to pay for it. It's all free delivery, free. Yeah, so so if anyone's with Lloyd's, that's a good way of doing it.
I remember the days of going to the USA with travelers checks. Jesus, I don't even know if they're still a thing anymore, But what I've started doing, I've been doing this actually for a number of years, is getting you can get them through the post office, but you can also get them through a few other type of vendors, like an American, or you can get a European version as well, probably Australian and all sorts, a travel money card. And you just you can top it up. You use it like a normal credit card or a bank card over in the US. And this is even before sort of chip and pin. I was using one over there. And, or contactless. But you can top it up digitally, so directly from your bank. So if you run out of money or whatever, you can put so much on there and just use like a normal card. But I think a lot of cards these days, a lot of banks, you can use them in the US anyway. No, Barclays, you've always been able to use Barclays.
So what I've just done, this is how I've got getting my money for Brickworld. So instead of having cash, I've taken out. And there's no financial advice. This is just the best thing for me. So I took out a new Barclays credit card because they give me 2% cash back on all purchases using the card, free to use in the United States, worldwide, gives me free withdrawals using, as long as I use the, like when you take it out of an ATM in the United States, if you use local currency, it doesn't charge you any exchange rate, which is really good. Yeah. And there was another thing. I think I had travel insurance if I took it out as well. So I kind of bundled all that into one.
That's a good idea.
That was my way of beating the exchange rates, because getting it straight from the bank is always going to be better than using third-party exchange rate companies or getting it out of the airport or this, that, and the other. If I can just go to an ATM in the USA, take my money out there, use local currency, I don't get charged any of the exchange rate fees. I just get the direct exchange rate, that's how I'm doing it.
That's a good idea. I mean, unfortunately, it's difficult for me to get a credit card. I won't go too much into that. But yeah, I also
might be able to help you out there, mate.
I just also thought of cash because of the garage sale, the garage
yeah.
sale.
So my plan is I'm going to go there, and every day I think my limit's like $700, and I've got my budget of how much cash I can spend. And what I'll do is I'll go in to an ATM or into a bank or whatever. I'll take out the money instantly. After I've taken out the money, I'll transfer the money onto the card so that it's paid off. And then the next day, I'll do the same thing, and I'll just rinse and repeat until I've got the right amount of money I want. The card's fully paid off. It won't get used again. I've got the cash I need, and I haven't been charged any exchange rate fees. Yeah. So that's how I'm doing it.
So is cash purely for budgeting purposes?
So I've already ordered things, like I've got a couple of things off a couple of guys over there that I'm going to pay when I get there. Like I bought some things from guys. I'm giving cash to, this is where the painful thing is, I'm giving cash to Ostif for all the hotel nights, because if I do PayPal transfer, it charges me because it's doing an exchange rate charge. So I said, I'm going to give you in cash. He has no problem with that. Things like the garage sale and a lot of vendors or whatever, if I can pay in cash, like you just said, then like if I could budget better in my head, and I don't have to worry about, when you smash the card, you quickly lose out. You quickly forget how much you're spending. So I'm doing it, mainly in like a budgeting type thing. Okay.
All right, that makes sense. I struggle with cash because if it's
I need cash
if it's $100 bill, I can't break it because I'm holding onto it like it's gold. But if you just have a couple 20s, it's like whatever. It's under $20 here, and then you get a whole pile of singles.
Dealing with cash like this because I mean I am terrible for saving. So what I have saved, I'm actually quite surprised. But yeah, I've got only a certain amount. But so I'd rather have the cash, and then I know I've got that for each day.
Like I budgeted. I think I budgeted just over. I'm there for 10 days, so I'm going in 13 days, and I'm going to be there for 10 days in Chicago. So I budgeted just over $1,000 for food and drink. So I'm going on about $100 a day. That's kind of like my budget I'm going for. And if I know that this is my money for the food and drinks today, then I know that. Do you know what I mean? If I go any further past that, I'm starting to break into my budget.
So I think I've worked out. Well, I always go under, but I said something like about 200 a day. But that's not dollars, so.
The 100 a day was purely food and drink. I've still got another 2,000 on top of that for spending.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a little bit held back for me now because I'm not going to be able to bring back lots of things anyway. I mean, like I said, I'm already bringing back. I mean, I've got the ACOB, the figures in the tin and also in the box. I've also got the big G, the girth pack. They said, the one to do with on the stage.
Advent.
Yeah,
the one that's just recently done. So I'm picking that one up as well.
I forgot about that.
The second box of Boyz, basically.
Box of Boyz live.
Yeah. And like I said, there is a couple of sets that I would like to bring back, but I'll say, even if it means folding up the box.
Yeah.
I'm only going to bring it home and open it anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I've already bought two. I've got another suitcase to come back with. I've already booked it. So I'm taking my duffel that's going in my hard suitcase. And then on the way back, all of my clothes and stuff that ain't going to break are going to go in my soft suitcase. And then in my hard suitcase is going to go in my Lego. It sounds mad now, but I've already bought quite a lot of stuff over there that I'm picking up there that will already take up half the room in my suitcase.
You're worried about being homeless when you go out there, mate. You're definitely going to be homeless when you come back.
No, that's right. I've already passed it
All your
by.
stuff will just be out on the doorstep.
I think, to be
I've
honest,
already passed it by the boss. The boss is fine with it. She's good.
I think it'd do me a favor anyway, because I'm terrible at like just buying on the spur. So now I'm not going to be able to just, buy things just for the sake of it, So make me think a little bit.
So this might kind of counteract that a little bit, but I just want to say that thank you, Padawan, for that piece of information about Barclays. I was going to check anyway. I've already got a Barclays credit card. They sent me a letter through the other day saying, we're extending your credit limit. And I'm like, that's probably dangerous. But anyway, so I've got a Barclays card already. So what I was going to say to you, Matt, and if it helps, is that if you want to be able to use that out there and then obviously, pay me instead or whatever, then you can. So
okay, thanks, but yeah,
so
don't give me that option.
Also, can I interject one on the banks? And this is for everyone, and it's not like it's nothing to do with money. But if you're like going, or like us, and you're going and you're traveling long distance, and you're worried about things like travel insurance, and travel insurance can actually be quite expensive for something that's decent that covers you, and things like mobile phone insurance and this, that, and the other. Look at your bank and see what they offer. Because I didn't realize, and I've looked at my bank account. My bank account is a platinum account, and it offers me travel insurance, breakdown cover, mobile phone insurance. It offers me loads of other stuff, and I didn't realize I had it all.
Does Lloyd's as well.
Yeah, so I'm there looking at like travel insurance and like mobile phone insurance and like gadget insurance because I'm taking my MacBook with me, and I was like, someone said to me, I was like, look at your bank, and I went, oh shit, I'm already covered. So. Yeah. Have a look at that before you start buying double bubble on all your bits.
Double bubble.
Jesus. No, that's really good. That's sage advice. I remember paying for European travel insurance and then finding out I get free.
People don't realize that with their credit cards. Yeah, check what you're. Yeah.
So if there's only one piece of advice we give, guys, one piece of sage advice, it's check what's free, what's available, or what can be cheaper through going through something you're already effectively signed up for. So, and of course, you don't go through all that crap of giving all your details because they already got it all. So, I mean, you have to go through some litigation or paperwork or whatever, but not as much as you would if you were just straight up signed up for something. So, yeah. But somebody was saying to me that day, I think I was speaking to London Bridge. Was it Greg? Anyway, I was because he'd give me a shout out on his show Friday night, and anyway, I can't remember who I was speaking to. Speaking to someone who was like, "Who all is coming from the UK?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, there's loads of us coming." Oh wait, no, it's just the four of us. I couldn't think of anybody else. It is only just the four of us in terms of in this. It's just us four, isn't it?
I thought it was a lot more than what but I'm sure.
Yeah, in my mind, I was thinking, we're having this mass exodus.
They probably
got Slurpee as well. Greg. Yeah, I'm trying to think of there's a few other Brits I know that are going, but big time, SW Bricks and Figs. He's going. I know he's going. And there's a couple of others I know that are going.
It must have been Greg because I was saying the four, and I was like, yeah, me, Padawan, Whittakee, and Slurpee. And I was like, oh, wait, was there more? I can't think. Is there anybody else?
Well, I always felt like there was a lot more of us going, but
yeah.
I think you'd be surprised. There's going to be people there, I reckon, that will be like, I didn't know you were going, and they'll be like, well, we didn't know you were going, and maybe that's what it will end up being.
I'm sure we're not going to be the only Brits going over.
Yeah, the main four are going anyway.
Yeah,
that's the main thing. So, just want a quick spin quickly back to Kenn, because he looks like he's concentrating on something. So,
shopping for rent cars. I haven't picked up my rental yet.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, I noticed your background. I don't know whether it's changed or whether you're just at a different angle. Are you in a position to kind of?
I'm on the other side of the room.
Oh, okay. So because I know people love all this kind of stuff, and when I say people, I mean me. But I'm pretty sure other people appreciate seeing your kind of surrounding, because I know that that's a big draw for some people, is seeing like what other people have got. And I know you're not the biggest show off, or far from it. But are you able to kind of show us the rest of the room, or is it a mess? Are you embarrassed?
Well, it's always a mess. But yes, I can. Just give me 1 second.
Because this guy literally is like, it's like he looks like I felt stood in the middle of Manhattan, where I was just like, wow, it's not just a skyscraper every now and then. It's just like they're all next to each other. It's like,
while we wait for Ken, I was saying this to Whittakee earlier. I won my first ever Whatnot giveaway, and it was a complete accident. So I don't know, Martin, you're the type of guy that probably knows, gets around and sees people. Have you heard of Brick Bin? They're a big seller here in the
UK. Possibly at one of the events or something, but not socially.
So they were, MCM Comic Con was this weekend in London.
Mm-hmm.
So I went into his, I don't know why, I was just on Whatnot and I saw him as a seller. So I went on there and he had a giveaway going. I didn't even know what was being given away. And I went, yeah, go on then. It's free. Why not? And obviously it came up, did the thing. And then all of a sudden I heard while I was playing Doom on the Xbox, it was like, you've won. And I was like, what have I won?
I was like me with Galactic Bricker, was it? At that time at Christmas, remember? Yeah. It was like, I want something.
Like me with the Duck Bricks one, didn't know what I was winning.
And I'm going to try and find it now. And it was pretty good. Well, I think it's good. That's
how they draw you in, though, mate. It's like those gambling machines. They let you win the first couple of times so that you keep going back.
But it was this. It was the MCM Comic Con London exclusive to 200 figures. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
What is that, though? What's the figure?
It's just like a printed Whatnot figure. So it's a Whatnot official figure printed MCM London 2025, and it's exclusive to 200.
What's going on with his head?
Yeah, because it looks like doesn't it?
It's got. I think they're going for like that Ring Wraith kind of vibe, but like they're very much black and yellow, aren't they? So
I thought it was Cobra Commander with a cloak over his face.
Yeah, that looks more like Ring Wraith. But yeah, I won that, and I was like, "That's pretty cool."
Nice.
Nice.
We're not sponsored by Whatnot, but head on over. To be honest with you, I wanted to do a Whatnot episode. I wanted to get some people on, somebody ideally who was newer. Again, inspiration from Brick Dynasty, where I was just trying to think of areas that we probably don't cover. And round about the time I was thinking about it, I said, I'll reach out to Galactic Bricker. I know he's just started. He's in the UK as well. So obviously, when it comes to Whatnot Street, when I'm advertising somebody's merch, you can see it anytime. When I'm advertising Brick Dynasties and talking about Brick Dynasty's app, you can use it anytime, right? I guess obviously it's limited in the UK, but there's things on there you can do, right? And it's kind of timeless. But when it comes to Whatnot, it makes more sense for us on this stream to advertise a British one, at least for the British guys in the chat, because they're not going to be able to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning necessarily. So you know what I mean? So right, thinking about it, and then I had an audio message from Slurpee, and he just a little bit like me, just goes off on a tangent on his audio clips, and in one of them he's going, "Oh yeah, I can't remember his wording exactly, so this is kind of paraphrasing, but it was "Oh, I really hate Whatnot. I hope we don't never have to have anybody on our show talking about Whatnot. I can't think of anything worse." And I'm like, where did that even come from? So I never mentioned Whatnot. He just out of the blue. It's like he knew what I was thinking, and I was like, yeah, me too, yeah. And it kind of put me off because I am a little bit about, round table. We do what the guys want to do. If you guys suggest something, we'll do it, right? And far from me to be the person who's gatekeeping that anyway. If Whittakee, I always say to him, put on any banners you want. I said to Ken, let Martin know if you want any banners on anything you would specifically want to talk about. I'll run with anything. But I was just like, yeah, and because I haven't experienced Whatnot myself, it kind of didn't make sense to do it. But I think we should tap into it, definitely. And it'd be nice to get you on for that one, Padawan, because obviously you've dipped your toes. Yeah. I just don't like the idea of having Slurpee, who doesn't like it, Martin, who I'm guessing doesn't know much about it in terms of experiencing it, and me.
Oh, I've been on a couple of times, but I want to be able to see more British ones on there because obviously a lot of them are American. They won't even send it to you.
I've spent so much money. Matty's minifigs, I have spent so much money with him, and he's always looked after me. He's a good bloke.
Have you had it shipped as well then? Yeah.
What, the thing I just won? Oh, what, with Matty?
Yeah.
Yeah, Matty ships. It's a one-off fee, but it's not him that sets the fees. It's Whatnot. So I think it was about 20 quid, all done. So basically, if you're going to buy from the US, you might as well get a load of it. You might as well go there to spend some money.
That's not Fritz, is it?
No, not Fritz. Not Fritz.
No, not Fritz.
Matty's minifigs. That's where it's at. I'll show you just some couple of bits I bought with him, which I think are cool, and I want to get the rest of them. I haven't got around to speaking to him again.
But shout out to Fritz Bricks and Matty's minifigs.
I do not condone Mexico Factory in any way, shape, or form.
But
unless you're getting something from them.
However, I love the different colored Vaders.
Nah.
Oh, the pink one is nice.
I like the pink one. I've given him the Carl's little grape soda from Up.
Ah, that's a good shout. Yeah, that's a good shout.
Matty had like every color in the bloody spectrum, and I was like, these are pretty cool. And then he does, and you get them really cheap as well. So he gets
diarrhea color one I can see there.
Say again?
A diarrhea color one I can see there.
Gold one, eh?
Oh, was it?
You're shitting gold, are you, Martin?
Must be my eyes. I've got dark glasses on, that's why it looks right.
But like sometimes you can get the stuff on Whatnot in the United States. You can get some really cheap stuff, and that's probably down to the fact the Mexico factory getting all the cheap stuff out. So I remember I bought 6 Commander Foxes for like $5 a piece.
Wow.
Guys, let us know in the chat. Do you want us to do a Whatnot episode? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah, I don't mind. I thought I'd just whack this on as we got Matley in. Evening, Matley.
Yeah.
So I just...
Solid makes 10. 10 ought to do it, don't you think? You think we need one more? You think we need one more? All right, we'll get one more.
Matley always never gets one of something. This is what, it's a little thing that Martin made for him.
I think we're eager to see Ken's room now. He got ready, and then all of a sudden we went on a tangent. So,
you were that time. It was you went on a tangent, mate.
That was me. Yeah.
It wasn't me for a change.
Hey, we've got to spice things up a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Let's full screen it.
Oh boy.
There you
go. All right. Let's see how little of my house and how much of the stuff I can show here. All right. So if we go over there, that's my daughter's Minecraft collection at the end. A couple of random things. Then these are my bulk hoppers. These are just some things I emptied out today while I was at the Brick Link.
Wait, are you stood at your desk, Ken? Because that seems to go down a lot further than I was expecting to.
Yeah, I blew out my back, so I can't sit in a chair for a while.
He's a standing desk.
Yeah,
back. That means something different here, mate.
Yeah, so we got these racks over here.
Nice.
And
blew out my back.
On the other side of the TV, we got those racks over there. And then over there is where I usually record from.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I saw that picture of the TV, and I thought perhaps it was like, because I don't know why you always see people's backgrounds and the
racks.
Yeah, the TV between the racks. I saw that on Instagram. I remember mentioning it on
all the cogs.
The stream. Yeah.
Hey, those units aren't cheap, and there's a shit ton of them in there.
Yeah, we're at a little over 1,600 drawers, and a rack of 24 is like $50 or something.
Damn.
We get them on sale from time to time. Yeah.
I think I always visualized what I don't know why I do this, but I watch other people's streams and stuff, and I visualize. So I always thought from the way you used to stream from the other side, that was the basement. And then when I saw the Instagram post of the TV with the brick, and I thought, damn, even in his living room, he's got these bricks. But of course, it's all the same room, so it kind of makes a bit more sense.
Martin, don't call it a cellar.
Oh no, what do you guys call him?
You said that. What's his name? Forgot his Wait, you just say, do I live in a cellar?
Basement, whatever. But everybody in the chat, Ken, is keen to know who blew your back out.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. Poor wording on my part, huh?
Mate, it's going in the book. It's going in the book.
Yeah. All right. Fair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, unless it was Victoria, then you'll be all right.
Both the
unfortunately
timestamps are listed on the same page again. No, it's good, mate. I was gonna say, it's weird because I thought perhaps you were standing
Americans have a TV in every room.
Yeah.
I think Americans have. We have. Yeah, actually, we do.
Yes.
We have TV in every room.
Well, since the advent of phones, I guess we all have. Pardon me. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to show that off because I know people love that kind of stuff. I think Brent did it, and his was more of a backlog, but he was just going from room to room. He was open. You were on that for that, Ken. You saw that, didn't you?
Yep.
When he's opening wardrobes.
I can't take you guys through all of that. Yeah.
Ow.
That's
Sorry.
well. Half of our stuff is in.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Sorry, Ken. Go on.
Half of our stuff is in. Well, not half. Some of our stuff is in our bedroom closet. Some of it's in the kids' closet. We have Lego in the pantry. 75% of our storage unit is Lego. Our sorting and washing area for Lego is in the kitchen. It's a whole house affair.
Sorting and washing.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, if any of you guys have been keeping up with that information and you've seen our information, what am I talking about? If you've been keeping up with this, what I've been sharing, you'll see that I picked up a display unit, May the 4th display unit, which is like a huge cardboard box thing. And it's already filled, and I still haven't brought it home. It's filled with my work backlog. So I'm probably one of the few people out there who's got a work backlog as well as a house backlog. But crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think there's a single person out there that doesn't have a backlog of some sort.
Whittakee doesn't. He builds his on his way home from the shop.
Yeah, I don't. Well, like I say, I've got a couple of things. Like I've got obviously that box of Boyz signed by Duck Bricks. That's not being opened.
Yeah, that doesn't count as backlog though.
No, it's not really backlog. The stuff I've got, like I've got an extra the GW last year, the droid army thing. So, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna open it. So yeah, I've got nothing actually, apart from one more bag in here.
The Luke Skywalker helmet with Furby.
Do you know what I will say? It's an enjoyable build. I've enjoyed it. I won't put the banner up of what I built, but I have to say though, as I was building it, I was thinking, God, it's a bit small. I was expecting it to be a little bit bigger than what it was.
Can you show us the Luke Skywalker helmet?
Going on my head.
What a piece of trash.
No, it's not. It's not. It's
not that bad.
Look, you can do this. Look.
I'm obviously not the target demographic. He looks weird without ears, mate.
Yeah, he does look it. It's all right. He can't hear you.
I wonder how close to that build Gizmo is going to be when the Gremlin set comes out.
Yes, probably.
Good shout.
I mean, like I said, I enjoyed it, and also it was 25 quid knocked off. So instead of 90 pounds, it was 65. So can't really complain.
So a couple of things I want to share, and again,
if I wasn't ill and bored, I wouldn't have bothered.
In the spirit of what do you call it? Community support, we're going to share this before our own.
Okay.
Hey.
Let's make sure I got the right link. Don't need audio. Okay, there you go. So tell me what you guys can see, if anything.
T-shirts.
Etsy page.
T-shirts.
Yeah. About that.
Okay. So this is. Okay, so this is Etsy, and if you want to get it, I mean, to be honest, you can go into Etsy. The Etsy search engine is probably one of the best out there because you just literally type in ACOB and it takes you to, 5-star graphic tees, but not a sponsor. And in this case, Brick Dynasty, because I always forget the name of this guy or this seller or whatever, but that you've recruited. But yeah, it's Tadashi Roll.
Tadashi Roll.
Tadashi Roll. Or just go in the search engine, guys. You've all got Etsy. Whether you're online or they now got an app as well, which I think is relatively new, but just type in Brick Dynasty. And this is your selection of Brick Dynasty. Now, some of these I 100% knew were theirs, but because I was looking at his site, there's obviously some other Lego ones which I guess aren't connected to you. But what I will say is that when I looked at this a couple of months back, there was a lot more on there. So I don't know whether they've just sold out, or I thought these were kind of made to order.
So we had a bunch of stuff.
I went on Etsy a couple of weeks ago and had lots of certain T-shirts. I went on there again, and there was hardly anything on there. The hats are gone, and then a couple of days later, I went back on and it was all on there again. So it's a bit, I don't know, a bit weird.
Yeah, Etsy's a little weird. We also did limited runs of a bunch of stuff,
Right.
And I don't know how exactly they charge Derek for these things, but some of it he like the more seasonal stuff, he'll pull things off. Tank tops aren't there right now. I think those will be back. There were more hoodies before. I don't know where those went. If he made those just limited. Basically, the deal we came up with was he does the designs for us, and he keeps whatever comes from them. I don't ask for any of it, and he just occasionally lets me know what's happening. If I have design ideas, I'll throw them his way, but he basically handles all of it. Sometimes I forget to check in and see what the changes are.
Yeah, so I know I wanted one that's kind of shows you. I know this hoodie does, but I know there was a T-shirt version of this hoodie, and there was also a white one with just the crown. I'm pretty sure there was a couple of dragon ones on there as well. I wanted a Rocker Dragon one for obvious reasons, but this I've seen you wear, this Dust Money Millionaires, and I've heard that within your kind of sub community. But these ones I weren't sure of. In fact, I'll show them all anyway. So this is a Dust Money Millionaires. So for anybody who's not schooled in what dust is, what does this describe? What's a Dust Money Millionaire?
So that's what I call Lego investing, because you basically buy the Lego sets, you throw them in the closet or wherever, and when you pull them out, they're all dusty and they're worth more money.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at anybody's shelves, all covered in Lego. They're all real expensive. You're just racking up the dust money.
Yeah.
But I always thought it also meant ones that stay on the shelves in the shop a lot, because they won't sell to the dust.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
because it's funny, when I bought my this year, I bought my X-Wing UCS, and when I took it home, didn't realize till I got it at home how dusty the top was. So it must have been on there for quite a bit.
Well, this one was this one made in honor of Speed Champions winning that episode?
No, that actually came out before that.
I wanted to say that's what it was. Speed Champions.
Derek loves his Speed Champs.
Shout out
to sorry, who do you say, Derek?
Derek, Tadashi Roll. His name's Derek. That does
right. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, so is this class as one of yours or one of his then?
I don't remember if he actually put Brick Dynasty on there or not.
No, there isn't. Like I said, the dust money
I
can connect you. So I was gonna do, and this one would be pretty good for Garrett. Garrett, if you're out there in the chat, mate, also one of the occasional co-hosts of the show. Brick by Brick, because his name is actually Brick by Brick Together. So I think this would be pretty cool for you. 2 colorways on that one. I like that. Oh, I like that. Ostiv would like that one. Sort of almost light bluish gray. Nice. And then why won't I disappear? Go. Right, okay. This one I didn't get. I wasn't sure whether this was anything to do with your kind of thing either. I mean, obviously it's Lego and it's a snake.
I think that's because it was Year of the Snake.
Right. We won't go into that one then. We obviously want to promote the Brick Dynasty ones, and of course now we know that you're not necessarily making anything off them. Not that that's what we do it for, obviously, but probably a little bit less pressure. But this is what I've ordered, and I've got a Star Wars Lego hoodie, a Star Wars hoodie that I wear all the time, to the point where it's like hanging off me now. It's in pieces. So I thought I finally got to update my hoodie, and I'm tempted to just take it with me to Brickworld and sling it, and then replace it with a crispy new 4 colorways Brick Dynasty hoodie. The blue I like, but this is the one I've ordered. The the dark grey, or I've ordered. I've asked Ken to order for me, and obviously he's gonna let me know.
It'll be here June 6th. So yep, that's all set.
Oh, right, okay. That's actually quite slow then, I think, isn't it? Because I think I've ordered from Etsy. I mean, it might be to do with him, but I've ordered from Etsy. They come a lot quicker than that, even from America.
Well, the window that they gave was like June 2nd to June 6th. I always just figure it'll come the latest date possible.
Right. Yeah, look, if there's any issues, mate, it's not the end of the world. But if hopefully, yeah. I mean, I won't really need a hoodie when I'm out there if the weather's anything to go by, from what I've been told. But handy to have, and yeah, nice to add to the collection.
I just pack t-shirts and shorts, and that's it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna need. Well, you're gonna need something for on the way, mate, and you're gonna need something on the way back because it might be cold when we get back to the UK. So.
Oh yeah, but whatever I'm wearing on the way there, I'll just wear it on the way back.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. So I'm going to wear my Star Wars one, and I think I just might leave it out there, or nobody's going to want it. Otherwise, I'd give it away. But sling that and then replace it with this bad boy. So, yeah. So, guys, I encourage you, go out there, check it out on Etsy, rock the Brick Dynasty gear.
Yeah. I got to get him to put some of the tank tops back on. We had one that was a, Salt Life. You guys have that out there.
Salt Life?
Yeah, it's like surf gear. Not so much.
Okay. Salt Rock?
No, Salt Life. They're on stickers and T-shirts and surfboards and all of that kind of nonsense.
Oh, okay.
It's a logo that you can't not see just driving down the highway for any amount of time.
Right.
You change that to Stud Life. That shirt was really good.
Ooh, yeah.
There were a couple other tank tops that were decent that are missing. So see if we can get those back up there. Because this time of year, I try not to wear sleeves again until, I don't know, late August, September or so.
Slippy likes them.
Yeah, I don't have the arms for a vest, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't either. If you have two arms, then those are the right arms. I think that's good.
Shout out to people with which is one arm or no arms. But, but in the interest of sort of posterity, we have got to also show off our own merch available. I know Studlake did appear. I did want Studlake to come on and help launch this with us because obviously in collaboration with him.
When's it coming? That's the question.
Yep.
When's it coming?
Yeah. Have you had it all sewn up yet? Or?
Oh, no. I think I've had. Do you know what? I might have because I have mine delivered to work. So for all I know, it's there. But yeah, I can't even remember when I did the order. I think it was Saturday last week. But yeah, look, I'll be the first to shout out. But again, in the chat, guys, do we? Who's got an order in? What color did you order, if any? I know Ken said he went in for a pepper. I've gone in for a pepper, a green, and a mustard boy. Got a mustard boy from Martin. It's weird though, right? Because I must have had a confirmation email of some kind because I remember looking in and thinking, even though the bag comes from a different place, the bag and all the t-shirts, apart from I think the pepper one, are in one order, and then the pepper one is in a separate order. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, the way it works out is you pay postage per type of item. So it's £4 for one t-shirt postage, £4 for 20 t-shirts postage. You know what I mean? There's no limitation on. There's two. Well, obviously I haven't tried ordering 20, but I ordered 4 t-shirts and the postage didn't change from £4 each time I added one. As soon as I ordered a bag, I had 3. It added another £3 for postage. But then if I had another bag, it was still £3 for postage extra. If that makes sense. So it kind of makes sense, really, to me. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody else. But sorry, what did you say there, Martin?
I was going to say, as soon as I saw these, I was like, I'll have the yellow one, please. Just what? I mean, I know a lot of people now are going for the yellow one, but it was like, yeah, something a bit different because it's got quite a lot of black and greys and
yeah, that was thanks to the chat. Shout out to the chat because I can't remember who it was, but a couple of people reached out to me when I mentioned. And I think we
haven't got any in red yet, though.
Yeah, I was going to say people did say, can we have some colors? Can we have some greens and yellows?
There's a nugget yet.
Yeah, there's lots still to come, guys. But obviously, this has got to work first, otherwise it won't be worth it. So
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a couple of people reach out to me and say, "Can we have some green? Can we have some green and can we have some yellow? Sick of all the black t-shirts." So I thought, fair enough. But so your opinion does matter when it comes to these type of things, guys. But go and check these out. The link is, you can find it through Instagram. It's on my Instagram profile, or you can go back to last week's episode. It's in the description of last week's episode. But just go on Matt Black Bricks, basically. Type in Matt Black Bricks. You'll find it there, along with ACOB's merch and Ostif's merch, aka the Brick Connection.
Before I forget, because it's going back quite a bit now on the chat, just want to stick that up from Muttley. Some stuff in his backlog goes back 20 years.
Damn.
Are you ready for this one? Well, my Star Wars Lego set count is at over 2,000 now.
Woo!
2,000 sets.
Jesus.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love it.
No, we can't have 2,000 sets.
When you having a garage sale? Well, you could have. That doesn't surprise me, mate. That doesn't surprise me.
No,
Well, I mean, if you get 100 of each of
I
them.
mean, don't forget, sets can be, you could have like, I don't know, 50 of a battle pack, can he? I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's massive, the sets. It's
So yeah, Murtley's not having his back blown out. He's having his backlog blown out. So, Jesus. But what I will say, guys, is the yellow is the right term, but I don't want to call it mustard. I want to call it custard. So is did you order a pepper, a custard, a green, or a black custard? Oh,
well, it's called the green bogey then.
Yeah, we should call it. We'll find some stupid name for it. Speaking of stupid, got a couple of other things I wanted to show off. Unless anybody else has got something they want to.
The Ostif distribution shirt's pretty cool.
Yeah,
let's have a look. Wait a sec. Let me full screen.
Hang on.
You full screening it?
Pop myself out. Hang on. I'll stand up. I'll stand up.
He's having his back blown out now by Ostif.
It was the coolest shirt that they had on for the ACOB stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah. Nice. It is a good print.
At the Rennie.
Little pocket.
Good.
Unique spouse at the Rennie.
Pocket for a minifig as well. What's on the sleeve?
Just my back bricks. The other one doesn't have anything on it. But
it's the outline. It's the outline of the letters, though, right? No color. Oh, that looks good though. That's clean.
It's just like for once, like out of all the shirts on the website, don't get me wrong, they got some cool designs. This was like the one that wasn't generic. Like let's plaster one logo on and then be done with it. It's got like a cool. Well, it's got like the print on the back.
Yeah, nice.
And all of that is pretty cool. I was like, that will do. And it's white. Like you said, black t-shirts are boring. Getting boring.
Is that behind you? Is that a Lord of the Rings map like towel?
It's a blanket. A friend bought me one like for my birthday last year, and it just hangs on it.
A blankie. Let me see. Right. So I saw this yesterday at Brickfest, and I just thought I had to share it because I thought it was really funny. See if anyone else can sort of notice the reference. Give it a couple of seconds to warm up. There you go.
Want to find out.
I don't even know. Is this a Lego piece, this doll thing? But it was just the fact that it says, I saw that speech bubble, and all I saw was cool hangout.
Looks like a Lego version of a blown up doll.
Yeah, that thing is frightening.
So I'm just going to black out all the things except for cool hang. But yeah. So this is this a Lego piece, guys? I just thought it was really odd. It was a thing we give out to kids to work out the anagram, and this time they actually went for a decent one, which was Dollhouse. Spoiler, where not like anti-disestablishmentarianism or whatever it was the time before. But so all the kids are coming up to me and go, "Can I have a clue?" Like, yeah, which letters have you got? I got all of them. Oh, you should be able to work it out. And I was just looking, and I was thinking, Christ, how the hell are kids supposed to get this? But it was really tough. But yeah, this time it was Dollhouse. So sorry for going to a Brickfest. So I got that. What else did I want to show? Oh, he was in the chat earlier. I should have done this while he was here. Kirsty thought this was a genuine thing. So a shout out to my friend Joel. There's two things to show off about him. He was displaying at the Brickfest, so I had a chance to kind of I did a bit of a vlog as well. He vlogged the last one in Newport. So if you go over to Joel's Bricks on YouTube, you'll see me popping up in his vlog for the, I think it was April or March. But oh, where's the picture? It's gone.
So Amy thinks that's a Lego baby from the 80s.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. I'm assuming it was Lego, but I'd never seen it before. Right, this picture hasn't gone across for some reason. I'll try it again. So
Joel does a lot of the Brickfest, doesn't he? He seems to.
Yeah, he does get about a bit actually. Yeah. But he was demoing, so I won't sort of ruin it because I didn't take photos of his things. I just vlogged it, and obviously I was working, so I didn't get a lot of time. But I did sort of chat with him and video recording. I'm going to put a vlog together for the YouTube channel, so keep a lookout for that. But definitely go and check out Joel's Bricks. And I did take a photo, which I thought was quite funny. I did post it to my Instagram, so a lot of you guys will have already seen it anyway. And it's a kind of what magic. Let's see if I can find this a sec. Give me a second, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. So, if anybody, sorry, go on.
No, go on. You crack on.
No, I was just going to say, if anybody remembers that 10th episode we were talking about earlier, where we did the Battle of the Battle Packs, and Joel came on, the legend that he is.
Yes.
And he did his top 3 battle packs, and his number 1 was the Monkey Battle Pack.
Yeah, because you didn't say Star Wars, did you? Precisely.
No.
So, yeah.
So he's not a big Star Wars guy anyway. So it was kind of just really tongue in cheek how he did that. And he did a presentation because I don't think he was able to pop on the stream, if I remember rightly. No, sorry, he did pop on the stream. He was on the stream for the 10th episode, but he did a presentation anyway and sent that in, right? So it wasn't just stills. So, of course, I was at the event setting up for a couple of hours the night before and then back there first thing in the morning. And this kind of one of the banners that I put up. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, if Joel's displaying here, which I had a feeling he was, I've got to get a picture of him with that. So as soon as I seen him rock up, I was like, right, get a picture in front of there. If you know, the Monkey Battle Pack. I mean, this is probably 2 of them, but I think there was like 4 in the set. But so, yeah, it had to be done. But guys, if you've never been to a Brickfest and you're in the UK looking for a decent, relatively cheap day, one-day brick event, Brickfest is actually worth checking out. Don't get me wrong. You can spend days in there. You probably wouldn't want to spend all day there unless you're a kid. But it's definitely worth checking out. Got some great deals.
For a few couple of hours. I will say, though, once you've done one, you don't really need to do another one for a while because they're pretty much.
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
They are very, very similar. And you'll get the same free gift.
Yeah, they're still giving them out, mate.
Are they still? I was going to ask you, are they still giving those out?
They're down to the last couple of boxes, but
see, as soon as you tell me the next one you go to that they get something different, I'll go to the next one.
Yeah. So I was chatting to Joel, and some of you might know I was meant to get the link ready, but I haven't. Joel has launched his own, talking of merch, his own. Anyone want to guess what's in this? Do you guys know the lore? If you follow Joel Brixie. So he had these. I said to him, you should bring him along. I'm not saying it was because of me that he did, but he had some with him this time. So he's created something, which he's had for a while, actually, called the Mock Planner.
Yes, that's cool.
Yes.
By Joel's Bricks. And obviously, I don't know what the inspiration behind this was. Obviously, it's long before I got to know him. But I did say to him, you should bring some along. And he had some there with him. And I was like, great, how much are they? I said, I didn't have any cash on me. And I was like, and he said, no, you can have one. He said, I wanted you to have one anyway. And I was like, no, mate, honestly, I wouldn't, it's a business for you, the start of a business for you. So, I wouldn't expect anything for free. He's like, no, honestly, I want to gift one to you. And I was like, oh, fantastic. So did the vlog, chatting a little bit about that. But yeah, you got the mock planner. He had one out on display with some mocks and stuff in it that he's physically used. So, so inside you've got name of the mock, color palette, figures. What's that say? techniques, dimensions, and then obviously a sketch. So it's it's pretty straightforward, but also really cool. Just an unusual thing they wouldn't think of. So, and like every other page has got this on, so you can use it for more notes and stuff like that. So I think it was a great idea. Like I said, doing something that nobody else is doing, or at least nobody that I know of, and trying to fill a niche, which I think they were kind of celebrating this show. So I got one of those. And even the fact that his bubble envelopes had the print on as well is kind of, I thought that's
double bubble.
So a double bubble. So I'm going to be keeping it in that. Keep it nice and secure. I'm not a huge mock guy, but I definitely will use it. I'll definitely promote it. Obviously, I'm doing that right now, but I'll try and promote it as much as I can, obviously, looking after the next guy. But so he had these. And one of the guys who was organizing the event, later on, after everybody had packed up and gone away, and I was there for a few hours kind of packing up and tidying up afterwards, I saw he had one of these in his bag. And I was like, oh, you grab one of those. And he said, yeah, such a great idea. And I was like, oh, I got one too. He's like, oh, did you go on one then? And I said, yeah, I got mine for free, though. And he was like, what? Well, how? You gotta know, mate. You gotta know. So
got an update from Amy here about the baby. It was from Belleville theme.
Oh, okay.
And they have a boy baby in the lime green color. Ah, right.
Yeah, it's really creepy looking. Why they chose to
Padawan wants the army build them.
Yeah.
The Belleville baby battle pack.
Yeah,
triple B.
Cool.
A triple B bubble. So this is the other thing I got, guys. Now this I was really chuffed with. Now, don't get me wrong, I always see sets, but I'm not versed enough like perhaps Ken is, where I can look at a set and be like, oh, that's a good price. That's a good, I can get that cheaper online. And I haven't really got time, because you don't get a lot of free time when you're volunteering, and sadly, so I don't really get a chance to look at prices, and I'm on my phone and looking all that kind of stuff. I just kind of have a scout round, and if I see something that I either really want or I know is a good price off the top of my head, which is almost never, I'll grab it, and I can do that. But generally I look for unique items. Now Joel went to a brick fest recently, and he managed to get a Lego bag, and it's like one of those kind of, it's like a small suitcase type bag. It's got like pockets and stuff in. It's designed to put like a laptop in. And it's got loads of extra pockets, and it's got like a long thing you can put over your shoulder, or you can just carry a short version, and it looks really cool. And the inside is completely all red. It's got the Lego symbol on the front, metal zips and everything. It looked fantastic. And apparently while he was vlogging that he'd bought it, or he was on a live stream showing it off, and somebody had said they were only given out to, I think he paid like 35 quid for it at a brick convention. And it was, very, very good condition. I saw it in person, and it does look really good. And apparently they were only given out to Lego staff 1 year. I don't know if it was a Christmas thing or what. But apparently somebody looked online and said, there's only one other person selling it, and he's selling it for like 700 quid or something stupid like that. So I was just like, absolute bagging. So that's just an example of the kind of stuff you can find at these brick fests, the unusual, unique items, which brings me on to what I managed to snag.
Ooh.
Darth Vader LED. Now, this isn't factory sealed, but
Never heard of it.
See, it's never been opened, never been used. You can tell just by looking at it. Maybe the camera won't pick it up, but I can tell you from eyes. 35 quid. I thought that was a great price. I'm not sure what this year came out. Let me know in the chat if you know. I think it's like
Lego products as well. Then, so I've never. Yeah, didn't even know they did them.
I think it was 2005. I want to say no. This is Rebels, isn't it? This is Rebels era, so it would have been a bit later than that. But yes, you got this, and then inside. All the pieces are separate. It's got the batteries haven't oxidized at all, which means it's never been the light up saber. And obviously, if it was an electrical item, I'd question whether it still worked, but it's all battery. The helmet goes on separate. You got that grey Vader head.
Will you actually crack it open and use it or not?
I am going to crack it open and use it. Yeah, you know me. This time I will actually look after the box for this one. I'm not going to rip a big hole in the middle of it just for the sake of content.
I can't believe you did that the other day.
Yeah. So I think this looks, this is what it's supposed to look like when it's put together. Look at that. It's not going to probably light up as good as that, but I think it looks awesome.
Ow.
So that's going to be on my display in the background, and I'm going to have all the lights off except for that little Vader light.
Nice.
At some point. So keep a lookout, keep checking back into the stream, and this bad boy will be up and running soon. I don't even know. Has he got a cape? Yeah, it shows there's a cape. I never even noticed that. There's a cape. Must be a cape in there somewhere as well. Ooh, I got to do an unboxing of this for some content now, haven't I? So what do we think in the chat, guys? Did I get a steal there? 35 quid. I thought. I mean,
That is
there's
nice.
no,
Yeah,
there's
I'd
no-
pay that for it because
there's
to
no
me,
sort of school of comparison with something like this. Like,
have you looked up on eBay how much
I
they?
haven't.
Because I've never even heard of them, mate. That's
No,
cool.
I'd never seen one before. And then the
What's it
last thing,
called?
well,
Ooh, last thing.
it hasn't got a. It hasn't got a.
I got it.
Hasn't got a set number. Darth Vader LED light.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Did I get ripped off?
No, you paid probably the going rate.
But
Yeah,
what's the
somewhere on
condition?
there. 30. Yours is probably in better condition than this one. This one's new, 30 quid, 32 quid. Sorry, but there's some that are on it for 45 quid. Like you've got a good deal. You paid. You didn't overpay for it. Which is good.
Yeah, and it's because it's such an unusual item. It's nice to pick
Yeah,
up stuff
that
like
is
that.
unusual. I like it.
The other thing I got, shout out to Slurpee. This is for Slurpee. I did manage to message him. Like I said, if I could have done it with every video, I would have, and if I had the time. But I saw these on sale for 40, 45, and I gave him a quick message and said, look, if I can get one of these, do you want one? He said, yeah, grab it. And anything else, space. I sent him a couple of photos of other space stuff, but he didn't get back to me in time. And I managed to haggle this down to 35 quid.
I was going to say 40 quid's quite expensive for it. To be fair.
Oh, is it? Well, I was comparing it to the other prices, and of course, when it's
Aren't
a
they, isn't that what
GWP,
they're going for on eBay at the moment? Because
You can get one for about 30 quid. 32 is the cheapest one. In good condition.
if I wasn't going to Brickworld, I would have bought something to get because
It's cool. It is cool though. I would love to part this out and have it in multiple different colorways.
My friend the other day, she went and bought the Mario Kart, and she got that free with it and the spiky shell thing.
Yeah, somebody was selling a spiky shell for how much did he want for it? I asked him about the spiky shell. I was going to get it for my daughter, and because Maya's a bit of a Mario fan, and it's like a good display piece. I can't remember what he asked for. I think he asked something like 150 quid. And I was just
now you could buy it on eBay for 40 quid.
I was going to
Is
say,
it really?
I thought you were going to say something high like 60 quid, not bloody 100.
No, it was definitely over 100, and I was just like,
you can buy it right now. You're looking 45 quid. Buy it, free delivery on eBay.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably why I was by this. But again, it is for Slurpee. I managed to haggle it down. It's a lot easier to haggle things down when you're wearing like kind of staff or crew.
eBay sold listings is your friend. You can't go wrong with eBay sold listings.
Yeah,
that's how I got my thing off Tyler for the TIE Fighter pilot helmet.
The only other thing is they do I was actually in charge that day of the Cup of Brick stand where we sell like the t-shirts, the lanyards, the patches. We have a couple of used sets that are complete for sale, and also we do so we have like 21 massive, like huge plastic heavy crates filled with Lego, all mixed up, and they're in like if you imagine like a clock type thing. So I'm in the middle, and these tables are all like around the outside like this. Each table's got 3 of these crates on, and they pay 8 quid for a cup, and they can fill up as much as they want. And then obviously, I tip it into a bag for them or whatever. Which is pretty good when you think about the pieces, because they're not crap pieces in there. They're really some unusual pieces. And one of the other members of staff came to me and said, look, because you're working on this today, when it gets quiet, can you try and help me with my parting out? So he gave me the the printed Bricklink pages. It was about 9 or 10 pages for the Sith Fury class interceptor, another one that comes with Darth Malgus. So he gave me that. So of course I'm trying to flick through whenever I had free time, and I've probably got about 20 or 30 pieces for him, some of which were quite unusual. And I was thinking to myself, I wish I could do that, because having this clipboard was a nightmare to try and do that and flick through and look for pieces and obviously still serve people. But I don't think it would have been any easier on my phone. I got so many wanted lists on my phone. But I was just scrolling through my wanted list to try and remember things, just to get an idea. And then as I was digging through these crates, I was like, there's one piece, there's one piece. The old brown, this inside Darth Maul's, that's on or an inside Darth Maul's bust. Loads of those pieces I found. The old brown, you can hardly ever find that stuff now. So I was just like, so I started filling up a cup, didn't I? I must have got about a quarter of the way filling up this cup, and I completely forgot about it. Moved to another section because I was running the kids' activities then towards the end of the event. And when I came back, they'd packed it all away. So I was just like, I still got my cup. So I thought, I'll leave it. I won't bother. And then as I was tidying it up and moving all the tables, there was so much Lego on the floor. There was like, well, massive sack full of Lego on the floor. So as I was pushing it all together to pick it up and put back in the crates, but the woman was like, "Don't worry about that. Let's just let them sweep that away into the bin." And I was like,
What?
"You joking?" It's like, "No, I'll pick it up." And she went, "Oh, but it's going to be all dirty." And I said, "I don't care." I said, don't get me wrong. As I was picking it up, there was some hair and some other bits and pieces in there because obviously it's on the floor. But I was just like, I don't care. I'm
quick
and I know
can't solve.
I was going to say they cleaned the floor before we started anyway, so it was as clean as it was going to be. But in this leisure centre, so I picked it up and filled the rest of my cup and then some. This is the equivalent of probably 2 of those cups with pieces just off the floor. And I don't know what I've got in there. And probably not stuff I necessarily need. There was no way I was letting that go in the bin. By the time I picked it all up, they packed all the Lego away. So there's nowhere I could go anyway.
That's a waste.
I was just like, woohoo! So another full sack. But I'm just interested to go through this and see what kind of stuff I've got. But I might pop it open now, actually, since I'm still full screen, and just show some of the random pieces I did manage to find. If I got to the point where I was like, oh, that'd be pretty cool for a mock one day, or pieces which I know are a little bit more expensive. So like any of these kind of pieces I found, I was like, yeah, those are always handy. Old dark green, but with a nice print on the front that could be kind of, I don't know what that's from, but it could be used for Star Wars. This.
Because somebody asked me the other day, I don't know why they thought I'd know, but like in like Lego shops, you get where the kids can go in and play, and build whatever. And they were like, well, after a bit, when they get a bit grubby and stuff, what do they do with them? Do they just throw them out? Or they said, because if so, say that you work, with children with disabilities and try and. But I said, I don't know. They probably rewash them or something. I doubt if they just throw them away.
Any of these kind of like random larger pieces that I know as they get older are expensive. I checked in there. There's all sorts. Fat wheel pieces. And then loads of these kind of ball hinge pieces, which are good for like mechs and stuff.
Jamie is saying her local Lego Discovery Centre dispose of the pieces they sweep up every day instead of cleaning them and reusing them. That's such a shame because there's so many organisations that would love,
Yeah.
Take it
well,
back,
this is what
wash them. This is fine. Kids can play with them.
This is what happened with those parts that came from an unknown toy shop where they had all this stuff sent to them, mixed things to make. I think it was to make cars because there's a lot of wheel set pieces in there, and they had to they would have a make and take where they'd have all these pieces out just mixed, and you could make a car, and you had to make the coolest car, and you could take it with you. And they never went through it because I think it was sent around about COVID time. I want to say, or I can't remember what the reason was. Anyway, it's irrelevant. It was sent and it was never used, and it was just sat in these crates, and it comes straight from factory, so it was never used, brand new Lego sets. And then the area manager, whoever came around and was like, look, we've been told basically this isn't happening now. It's not going to happen. It's been there for over a year. You can get rid of it. Just go donate it to charity or sling it. And I was just like, just bring it home. And of course, then it was like, how are we going to bring it home? It's too heavy. And I said, I don't care. I'll blow my back out.
Blow the back out.
If it means I get to bring this Lego home. So I met Kirsty from the train station this one day. And fair play to her. It's about a 20-minute walk from her store, and the stuff was so heavy. And we've got about a 25-minute walk to the train station to our house. And we had 2. You imagine the big shoppers you get from Asda and stuff. I think we had 2 of those each, and she had a backpack full of it as well. And it was we were walking, and we had to keep stopping because it's so heavy. That's can you imagine how much Lego it would take for 2 grown adults to try and take home? How she'd managed it up until that point, I don't know. But I wasn't thinking pain, suffering, it's too heavy, like I would be if I was carrying shopping home or something. I was thinking, woohoo, look at all this Lego I'm going to have. So I was chuffed, and I still haven't done anything with it. Still sat in the sacks, but it needs sorting. But yeah, but it is crazy to think that just, they were happy to just sling that Lego. And let it go to some kids in need when there's me who needs it more. Oh, there you go. But I tell you what else, guys, since we're on the subject of donations, Kirsty mentioned the other day, so another shout out to Kirsty and the company she works for. But she said, "Oh, when are you going to come to pick up this Darth Vader thing?" I was like, "Oh, I totally forgot about it. What is it again?" "Oh, I got a full-size Darth Vader cardboard cutout." She said they sent it for promotion, but we've been told to sling them basically. And I was just like, "Get me there, get me there. It's mine." So that bad boy is going to be in the background at some point, but it is huge. Apparently, you can fold it in half once, but the box. It's obviously got the cape and everything as well. You guys have probably seen him dotted around, the full-size Darth Vader with a full cape, and he's holding a saber, I think. So I got to try and go and get that at some point and
It's
bring it
mad
back.
to think what these retailers just bin. Like all of the display sets, the Lego display sets, the ones that are glued, but they put them on display in the stores, they get binned.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild, like what they just get rid of. Like,
Yeah, because you can actually ask, can't you? You can say, "Oh, what, can I put my name down and have that?" Once you get, some will, some won't. But
yeah, there's a couple of times where it's a shame because none of the places in Hereford do them, have the bits on, have cool displays, so I can never ask. But the one time they did it Asda, and they were like, "Oh yeah, what I said to them about this," they had the old Millennium Falcon, the sequel Millennium Falcon they brought out the place get one.
yes,
They had that in the display.
Yeah, they have one in my house.
For ages. Bearing in mind it's been retired for God knows how long now. And I was like, "What are you doing with that?" And they were like, "Oh, we're actually giving it to the manager's daughter or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, fine, that's cool." But but amount of times that I've heard that they just get rid of them. I'm like, what are we playing at? Donate it to charity or give it to someone or whatever, and just sling it in the bin.
No.
Speaking of which,
wow,
boom.
Ooh.
That's in work still, and that is full. Now it's now full already. So Kirsty's like, "Oh, it's great that you got that, but you're not bringing that in the house, right?" I was like,
Come on.
I have no idea where it's going to go. But she's right, though. It's not gonna, I said, well, even if because I've got a big stack that's the size of this in the house with my unmade Lego set, so all I'd be doing is replacing this with that. She's like, "Yeah, but that's not a permanent feature." So there you go, guys. And that is literally from me asking. And if I'm honest, I don't know whether I would have asked if it wasn't for the fact that I was on Ostiv's streams. A shout out to Ostiv and his stream. And I was just like, yeah, every time everybody else goes in live from a show, it's almost like you got to do one-upmanship. I can't be one of these people who phones in live on a show and is scared to go and do the things they tell me to do within reason.
Yeah.
So
I was going to ask,
I was like,
someone like yourself who has a lot of backlog and that you actually think sometimes, when you go to, I'm going to go and buy another set, that you actually think, well, perhaps I should actually build what I've already got?
Nah, as long as I'm paying a good price and a reduced price. And I can't think of a time where I've bought a set that's still sat in my backlog that it's gone lower price since it's been in my backlog.
I mean, you might think he was joking earlier on, Ken, but yeah, if I had the chance of, sometimes I'll go downtown in the bus. On the way back, I feel like almost like want to crack it open and start making it on the way home. I can't
even make fun really at this point, can we?
And then the problem is that I build it and it's like, oh, I have to get another one. But I can't leave things. I just can't. No. That's the whole point. What's the point of me buying them if I'm not going to make them? So.
Yeah. That's a good point. I'm probably going to bring something to build.
And even now, I've got no room now. I've got no room for this Yoda until I get some new shelves. But that hasn't stopped me from buying. Unfortunately, Padawan, close your ears, Padawan. The Shire is actually on the floor at the moment.
Wash your mouth out. Pick it up now and put it on the bloody shelf.
Well, it's on a box on the floor. Put it that way. Yeah. Because I want to get two of those. What you've got, is it the Ivor sets, and then put two together and have all my Lord of the Rings at the top.
Yeah. You've gone from a 10 to a 9 in my opinion now, mine, because you've got it on the floor. That's just not good enough.
Well, it's on a box on the floor. Is that? Yeah,
still not good enough.
Yeah, because you're not going to just have dust on it. There, you're going to have like hairs and pubes and all sorts when it's that low.
No, not in that room. I ain't. That room's like sanitized, but yeah, no, it's just that's the only other thing as well. It's like I can understand why people might have a lot of sort of stock that they haven't built because they've got nowhere to put it. But then don't buy it then until you.
See, I've got places to put stuff, so I have no backlog anymore. It's
Yeah.
all like gone.
Yeah, I was going to say though, can you imagine if I was like, yay, finally, let's say 2 years time, I finally got shelves.
You know what?
But I can't buy
You know,
those
I just
now. If I
thought
want those
something.
Lego sets, I got to pay double the price.
I just thought of something. I'm quite impressed actually. I don't mind going. Did you say down from a 9 to a? So I was actually a 10. I've never been a 10 in anything.
Yeah,
Padawan.
you're a 10. You're a 10 in my opinion. Always.
Oh, bless.
But
Right,
Ken,
just say
Ken
good night,
brought the big-
Paddy. Night,
Good night,
Paddy.
the other Paddy, the baddie.
Thanks for tuning in.
It's Emma though, isn't it?
No, Sarah.
Sarah. Sorry,
And,
Sarah.
I will say, I don't know if she's still here now, but on the Instagram, she put a post there showing what actually got her into Lego, and it was building for her son, building the Luke and the Dark Troopers set.
Oh yeah.
And
I
that's
thought you were
what
going
got
to say
her
it was. I thought you were going to say it was the stream.
Maybe the second thing. But yeah, so like I said, shout out to her earlier on anyway. And what a shout out to someone else called Terry something. I can't think of her name, but yeah, I had two new followers this week, and both females.
Go on, Martin.
That's the 10, that is, isn't it? Yeah. Well, it's not. It's not that. They probably think there's some inheritance, and you're
Going to
the
meet your
closest.
spouse. What is it? Going to meet your spouse at the Rennie.
Future spouse, yeah. Future. Oh no, yeah, future spouse, yeah.
Yeah.
But talking of the Rennie, did you say, Ken, that you were going to probably bring something to build on the plane?
Yeah, I think so.
I never even thought of that. Me and you should do that, Whittakee, and we both
What's that?
take the same set and have a race and film it on the plane of us who can build something small like Rex's Y-wing and both build it on the plane. What comes out June the 1st? Anything come out June the 1st? Star Wars?
Does it Plo Koon? Does Plo Koon
Yes.
right?
It is.
Oh, Darth Maul Mech.
No.
Oh, he ain't going to buy that, though, is he?
No.
Plo Koon's Starfighter. You with instructions. If you can hold on to it that long, you with instructions, and me just looking at the box, no instructions. See who does it first.
Make sure you record it.
That means I have to buy it day one. That was what I was waiting for. At least a couple of quid knocked off of that one.
Yeah, I suppose that's a good point. Yeah,
But it's still not
it's not.
expensive, is it? What is it? 13 quid?
At that price point, it's not too bad, anyway, is it? So, but yeah.
And the figure looks pretty cool.
So, just trying to think. I have got one other thing that I wanted to show you guys, but it's not really. Is it? I would say it's not. So Kirsty put this together, but it's really Slurpee needs to be here for it because it's to do with Blockhead. So Slurpee, if you're listening, mate, let us know.
So
Basically, Kirsty.
Ken's gone a bit.
Yeah, I want to blur it for a minute there. Look at that. Where do you get those bodies?
Apparently, it was like a CMF or something.
Okay.
The only reason I've got it is because this is obviously Slurpee's little sig fig, and I thought it was so cool because of all the videos. I was like, I'm going to make one for myself on Bricklink, and there was only one seller in Europe that had this one, this body, this color. It was something like really niche, like years ago. So I was like, I'll buy it for. I think it was like £10. I was like, yeah, go on. I love it.
But if you want a head, Ken, I'll set you up with a head. Even got some of Blockhead's dad there as well. So I got a head. I have got a spare body, but it's for this one's Martin. So
hands off.
But yeah, I managed to find two of them, but they weren't expensive, but yeah, there was only two I could find available when I looked, and they were £1.34 each. I thought, oh, that's almost nothing, I guess.
I threw it in with a load of other parts, so I can't remember how much I paid for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to track down the awkward camel.
The awkward camel.
Ah, I
haven't seen it yet.
I saw that in a lot on Facebook Marketplace when I was looking for these heads because I wanted to see if it was cheaper to get these heads on Facebook Marketplace. And I saw it in there and I was like, oh, I meant to show that to Ken. Did I take a screenshot of it? I don't think I did. No, I couldn't have.
Hey, Martin, did you find was it the Range Trooper or the Mimbim Trooper? I can't remember which one you said it was. You had a double of.
I didn't find it, but I will before Brickworld. Try and remind me, mate, because I still have, as you've probably seen from my last vlog, I still haven't had a chance to sort through these crates, but I will try and do it before Brickworld for you, mate. Yeah.
Nice. Both fire things. I'd love to pick one up.
Let's have a look.
So I need to go on eBay or whatever, or Bricklit or whatever, and get myself an Admiral Akbar from somewhere.
Yeah, well, hold out as well because I might even have a double of that as well somewhere.
Oh, okay. Because my home
depends which version you want. Which version do you want?
It doesn't matter. It's just to go on with me home one. I'm
trying to remember what he came in.
Obviously, I've got the one that came with Bob's. I mean, he said bobsleigh then, Bob Starfighter, but that's in a clone. It's just
And he said,
that's an Akbar Trooper.
Yeah,
I've got that. I've got the what's the blue guy called from Rogue One? I've got him.
Oh, Radish or Radash. Not Radish.
Radish.
Yeah.
I've got the version, the Jedi version of the Mon Calamarian. I've got the old Admiral Akbar. Was there one with the home one buildable set? Not the. Was there an Admiral Akbar in that set?
I would have thought one would have come with that, but I can't say for sure. It's just like all my MIDI scales. Obviously, they do have a figure on them because that's why they got a place for it. But he hasn't. So my home one is looking a bit bare.
I'll have a look for you, mate. So I got a video that I took a few videos, but I got one particular I thought the boys would like from the event yesterday. So want to show as an image file. All we're going to do is a video.
Worst case is on Bricklink for £7.
There you go. So.
Yeah, what set? How many different versions of Admiral Akbar there? It's only two, isn't there?
Yeah, there's two, and he's appeared in multiple sets. So you got the San Diego Comic-Con. He was in one of them. He was in the Mon Calamari home one. Like the
yeah, I got that right. So that one I'm keeping. So
and he was in the A wing playset A wing.
Right, I got that one as well. So if
that was the one version of him.
I don't need multiples even.
And then he was also in the Resistance Troop Transport.
Resistance Troop Transport.
Yeah, 2016.
That's the boat-looking one with the. Oh no, wait, he wasn't in that, was he? Oh, so that's the newer version, right? Or was that the
the newer version? I think the older version's much better.
Right, I've got that one as well. So I must have three of him then.
So someone's put on here
that.
In the description, it's a trap. I like it.
It's a trap.
Yeah, $6.99 on Bricklink, but you're gonna have to pay postage, or you can buy them on eBay for free with postage, £10.
Right, cool.
Oh, there's the cat.
I must admit, when I was going back probably about.
Sorry, mate. Go on. I didn't realize I was going to play.
I was just going to say about I don't know, over 6 months ago or whatever, when we had the rumours of maybe a Ewok village.
Oh, disappointing, eh?
I must admit, I was straight on eBay and I still got them in my basket. I was picking out lots of different extra Ewoks to buy, ready for it. And I was so disappointed when I found out that we were getting a buildable figure instead. And obviously the Death Star's taking that over. Right, yeah, off you go. Sorry.
Every time I go to the bottom of the screen to press play, this fucking thing keeps popping up. There you go. So exit full screen a sec. Oh, that shouldn't affect you guys anyway. Right, okay, let's play this. So I thought this is pretty cool. There's loads of Star Wars mocks at this thing, but this was one I hadn't seen at any other events before.
These are all bands or artists. I went a bit old today. I went old school. I mean, these are all quite old school, but yeah.
There's some Easter eggs in there. Some of the things, like they're holding baguettes and microphones and carrots. All sorts of random craziness going on. There's some in a hot tub, some holding balloons. One holding one riding on a rack. Damn, this guy's been to a few events. Was that it? Yeah, that was it.
Cool.
Look at all those bricks he's got from all those events. Jesus.
It's crazy. That's one thing I wish I had done, was order bricks.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is with Brickfest is that they don't actually give these away unless you're either a displayer or working at the event. So I got one of these from each event I've worked at. But you can't like buy them or anything. And I always said to myself, why don't you sell these at these events as well? Because there's going to be people, consumers will want to buy these as well, but they obviously want to make them relatively exclusive. So that was a bit disappointing, but yeah. But yeah, you must be cranking them out. And I don't understand. Now, I was speaking to somebody, I don't know how it works, and don't quote me on these details, but I was speaking to somebody, he was like, oh yeah, I've got about 10 mocks doing the rounds at different brick events and stuff. And I was like, he said, that's how I earn my money. So what do you mean earn money? He said, well, you rent them out to the event. He said, and they pay you like, and Joe was telling me, I'm sure he said it was like 70 quid per mock. And I was like, and he was like, is that per? And he said, I don't know, I think that's like per month or something like that. I said, I can't remember exactly, but it was like, considering you're not really doing anything, I mean, obviously you can't make a living off it, but if you've got a full-time job and then you're raking in 70 quid a month just from somebody else displaying your mock and obviously displaying it, packing it away afterwards or whatever. And if you've got like a bunch of them in circulation, it's madness. But obviously you've got to be willing to, first of all, have a decent mock that people want to display. And I was chatting to the guy who does some mocks himself, and he's like, oh, got any mocks you want to, loan out to us? And I was like, well, I've got a couple, but I don't know whether they're going to be. He said, oh, don't worry about that. He said, and in fairness, walking around and seeing some of the people's displays, yeah, there's some fantastic stuff there, but there's other stuff that I'm like, oh, I could have built that. You just got to find something. And it doesn't even have to be your own thing. I've seen things built on there, and a guy stood behind it, and I'm like, I've seen that somewhere before. Are you on Rebrickable? He's like, no, I'm not on Rebrickable, but this build is from Rebrickable. I'm like, wait, so you're displaying at an event, and it's not? And he said, oh, yeah, it doesn't have to be. He said, you can display. Some people go and just display sets. They're out. One guy just displayed all like the full set of the racing cars that came out. He's got the full set, and he's got them on display. And I'm just like, oh, okay.
So I could have taken that mock build of the gunship that I made out of the Inquisitor, even though I got that off of Rebrickable, and still display it.
Yeah, so you can display. I don't know whether. So you can display because you're paying to display. But if you're renting out your mocks, I think they've got to be original. So
right.
They're paying you for them. I don't really know how it works. If I'm honest, I've never really asked, but they did ask me if I got, and I said, oh yeah, well, I've got a couple of things I'm working on. They were like, oh, as soon as they're done, let us know. And you can, if we'll bring it to just, well, if I can make money off it just sitting there and it tours the country and then, I don't get to see it for a year or so, as long as it's looked after. I mean, even if it's not looked after, it's pence to replace a piece or whatever. And they are well looked after. The guys, they pack them away really delicately. And they always say, if you're unpacking the mocks, every one of them comes with a card, how to pack it away, how to unpack it, and bubble wrapped. So they do really take care of them. And they always go the last thing to go on the van as well afterwards, so they don't get bashed about. So, but yeah, I'm thinking to myself, if I could build something and I could just, I could be just earning money from it, just touring the country kind of thing. So, it's worth looking into if anybody's into that kind of thing, especially in the UK. So, but that was pretty much it. in terms of what I wanted to show off, guys. Anybody else got anything they wanted to?
I have got something I want to discuss, but you might not like it.
Oh, here we
How
go.
many sets of Crocs you bring into Brickworld?
Oh God. Anyway, moving on. No, I was just gonna just for a 5-minute discussion, very quick, because it's something that's been bugging me. And so open up for the chat as well. I'm afraid it is about the Death Star, but we've got to talk about it someday. I just wonder what everyone's thoughts are. That I know it's rumors and stuff like that, but what if you think that they should have Krennic in it, or do you think they will put him in it? And the second question is, do you think he should be in it though? Because not including the books, I can't remember any time through the programs and the films that I've actually seen him on the Death Star. So should he actually be in it?
No, but that don't mean anything.
Yeah, that means shit.
No, I know, but
Because I bought General Grievous's ship, and the Jedi that he kills in an episode of Clone Wars never set foot on the ship.
Was it what's her name? Oh my god, her name's not mid.
No, but some people they like it to be precise, don't they? They like it to be like.
I think personally, outside of the 6 films, right? The 6 films. If you're going to have any characters outside of the 6 films, then I think you're going to have Director Krennic because he was in charge of Project Stardust, and you're going to have Galen Erso because he designed it. They're the 2 characters I would have in the Death Star set.
I would have thought it'd been nice. It'd been nice. Like it's too late now, but to have done like a little separate set that you could buy. Where they're on that I can't remember what the planet's called now, but where he actually
Scarif
killing the one where
Jeddah.
No, not Jeddah.
Edu.
That's it.
Edu.
Like that, like a small set that you could buy and put to the side of it, or even
Martin, because we had that problem with the Desert Skiff. It should have been in the set.
This is going to be terrible because it'd be behind such a big paywall. But even as a GWP, it's got to be better than a bloody the not X-Wing TIE Fighter, which I think is a bit of a con anyway, because that set should have a TIE Fighter or a TIE Fighter Advance in it anyway.
Martin, for the money we're paying, anything and everything to do with the Death Star must go in the set. Like the Desert Skiff being a separate 70 or 60 pound set in comparison to the sail barge is ludicrous. That should have been part of the set, not a separate set you have to go and buy.
But the only reason I brought this up about Krennic and that, because I've also seen rumors now. I don't know the names, but the 2 that are normally sat next to Palpatine, one with the big blue horns and the bold lady, and I'm like, no, why should they be in that set? What?
I think that rumor's been debunked, Martin.
Yeah, but it's just.
But I know what you mean. Yeah, I think they should just go down the whole original trilogy route and just keep it plain and simple. Add in your extra characters like Galen Erso and Krennic because they're pivotal to the whole of bringing the Death Star into fruition. But
I've also heard people moaning like, oh, they put like 4 stormtroopers in or whatever, which I think it should have quite a bit. But again, what they should have done is later this year they should have brought out a battle pack with stormtroopers so that you could, a bit like the snow troopers, so you could add them to your attack. So that would have been quite nice if they did a battle pack of stormtroopers.
Technically, you've got a battle pack already.
We want a mouse droid battle pack. Mouse droid battle pack. Just saying.
Do you mean the Night Stalker ones?
No, the Rebel dropship or Rebel speeder versus Imperial dropship.
That's running out this year, isn't it? So a new one, a new battle pack.
I think they just need to overhaul the Stormtrooper, but get rid of that Family Guy Stormtrooper, bring back a Rogue One Stormies,
and as we're talking about
Stormtroopers great again.
I'm talking about rumors and stuff. What do you think of the
Poggle the Lesser should be in the Death Star?
Yes, because it was originally designed by the Geonosians. Yes, Poggle the Lesser should 100% be in it.
But he didn't set his foot in it. So
Yeah, but he doesn't have to set his foot in it. There's so many important people that had a massive influence on Project Stardust that never stepped foot on the
Where are you
Death
going to
Star.
stick him in? Where?
Galen Erso was never on the
Not a
Death
room
Star.
there for them, is it? Yeah, that's what I don't know. I don't know. That's just
Setting
me.
foot don't mean nothing.
Yeah, but people keep saying they want it to be factual, and as it is, well, then they don't, then do they?
Well, guys, I gotta say, it's Star Wars Lego. Shit in one hand, wish in the other. See which one you fill first.
So can
But
you
also,
guys
what
explain
about
to
the
me?
rumors of the changing the pauldrons and do you think they're actually gonna do that properly?
I hope so.
Bring back the cape, even if it's plastic capes.
Sorry,
I hope
what
so.
were you trying? What were you going to say then, Ken?
How do you debunk a rumor? Doesn't that mean that somebody has the actual information?
Yeah, yeah. Or they just
Like,
change their mind.
Yeah, because if it's all rumors, in order for anything to actually be wrong, somebody has to know what's actually right. In which case,
I just
where's
call it a
that?
rumor to cover myself. That's all. So
Yeah, somebody's
Yeah,
got
but
the actual answers.
Yeah,
See,
that's a
now,
good point.
now
Actually,
that one I agree with. Yes, we should get Yularen in the Death Star.
yeah.
Technically, Director Krennic did set foot on the Death Star.
Well, no, I didn't say books, mind.
Hey, in canon, he sets foot on the Death Star. He has the chat with Krennic. He has the chat with
Tarkin.
Tarkin about the Death Star plans being stolen. It's in that scene, I think.
It's actually in the.
Yeah, it's in the film. Now I'm
Rogue
thinking about
One.
it. Yeah, he's in the film. He's on the Death Star.
If
in the
only
film.
saying it would make it so.
I'm sure they're not on the Death Star.
You spun me in a right tailspin. It's Galen Erso, I think, that's not been on it.
Mm.
I'm sure that scene with Tarkin wasn't on the because weren't they looking at it from a window?
Yeah, we stand here amongst my accomplishments.
Yes. Yeah, I still. But there you go. Put him in. Fine. That was just my just making an excuse to talk about the Death Star.
Speaking of which, going completely off on a tangent, we were Kirsty was watching looking at something on Instagram, like a meme or something of somebody saying, like, showing like a chat between two people saying, "Oh, I'm a huge Star Wars fan," and then the other person saying, "Hello there," and the other person's like, "Hey, what's up?" And then just a picture of Anakin going, "Liar!" And I was just like, I know full well when we all, and it just took for a second. I just quickly spun over to when we're all going to be watching Revenge of the Sith at Brickworld, like whatever the 70th.
I'm looking forward to that actually because
it's going to be because they talked about an ACOP show the other day, and they were like, if you go in there to watch the film and you want to actually engross yourself in watching a film, you got no chance because
we're not going to be sat there
chatting, messing about, shouting out the quotes. Because that's my favorite one. Is what as soon as it comes up to that, liar! You turned her against me. When it gets to that bit, that just before the fight scene is probably the most quotable. You have done that to yourself.
Yeah. By the way, sorry, going back on to what we were saying, Martin, you got it mixed up. It's Galen Erso that never set foot on the Death Star.
I didn't think both of them did.
No, Krennic did. Galen Erso didn't.
Right, you have to tell me where so I can go and see it.
Krennic's my favorite Imperial officer.
Is it in Rogue One?
If he's not in the Death Star, I'm going to burn down Bristol Lego store.
Is it in Rogue One, Padawan?
Yeah.
Right, I'll have to look at that because I could have sworn they were looking at the Death Star from a window. So
I think they were in that scene.
That is one scene, yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then yeah. But like I said, that's why I brought it up, so if somebody could correct me if I was wrong. So
yeah, that rumor's been debunked.
Okay, that's fine.
We think, but yeah, no, you are. What I'm interested in.
Krennic was there when they destroyed Jeddah. Yeah, I think you're right now. Okay, all right, you can have him in it.
Yeah, that was it.
But
Gus, yeah, that's right.
But not the other one then.
I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, because he's like, we want a. What did he says? We want a. Grand Moff Tarkin says,
he goes, beautiful.
Yeah, Grand Moff Tarkin says something like, "We want to make a statement, not a manifesto." because he's saying like, single fire. Is it single fire? So it just, instead of destroying the entire planet, it just destroys like.
Again, I'll go against what I just said. If you want to, what's his name?
Gherkin.
What's his name? No.
Galen Erso.
Yeah, Galen Erso. At the end of the day, Lego's for your imagination. So if you want to put him in it, put him in it.
Well, he designed the Death Star. It'd be rude not to put him in it.
I mean, if you want Jar Jar Binks in it, put him in it.
Darth Jar Jar in some universe, he definitely was on the Death Star. He created it.
Put a Jawa in there as well. Why not? Bit of fun.
Yeah, Jawas are the ones that drive around the mouse droids. Do you not know?
I thought that was Yugnauts.
No,
it's Anzellans.
Yeah. No, what I want to know though, Padawan, is why you changed it from 6 movies to 9 movies to 6 movies. I'm assuming because you're just saying that the sequels don't exist.
And you should have said 7, really, shouldn't you?
But I was going to say, you got to at least include Rogue One in that.
Yeah, 7.
No, because it's not. That's the original timeline. Technically, Rogue One's an offshoot. And plus, actually, no, we can say 9. There's 3 trilogies in my mind now. You got the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, and the Andor trilogy. All right, so that's the.
I always do slip Rogue One in there, though. I'd rather have that than the other 3 on the end.
But the actual Death Star only appears in one of the main timeline movies, right? The first Death Star.
Because
it's not in the Revenge of the Sith, is it? It's like kind of still being built.
Yeah, just for my own sanity.
Yeah,
this is the scene where he turns up with Tarkin on there and destroys Jeddah.
No, now that Muttley said it, I can see it now. Yeah, so that's cool. That's why I brought it up so people could like.
You put me in a right tailspin. You made me second guess myself, Martin. I'm not happy with you. You're going from a 9 to an 8 now.
Oh, for God's sake!
We want a statement, not a manifesto.
I did it because for this, so we could have a conversation, and I think it was good. So I've gone back up to a 9. Thank you.
Accurate leaks. That's what I like to see, Muttley. Accurate leaks from Wales.
Because sometimes we don't always remember or see things, so it's nice to ask and to correct me when I'm wrong.
There's one thing about Rogue One that really upsets me, and it's a common thing, is when Vader hasn't got the chain around his neck, and it really winds me up. Like where the cape, the cape wears the cape, and the chain comes down below his neck.
Yeah,
that's not present in Rogue One, and it's like a massive basically continuity error that they've made. Every scene, go when you next watch Rogue One, look for that chain in every Darth Vader scene that Darth Vader's in. Doesn't have it.
He's only in 2, isn't he?
See,
what do you mean?
He's only in 2 scenes.
End scenes. No, 3 technically 3 scenes, because when he turns up to the Battle of Scarif in Star Destroyer in the Devastator, so he's in 3 scenes.
Yeah,
but he doesn't have the chain. It's a big continuity. It's the only thing I got that upsets me about Rogue One.
So I've recently watched it and still loved it, but I do still, and this is just me, I do still cringe a little bit when he says that line about something about choking your aspiration.
That's one of the best ones when he chokes him out.
Be
he's
careful not to choke on your aspiration.
It's not sarcastic. I didn't.
It's cool. It's so cool. That whole interaction with Krennic and Darth Vader is one of my favorite scenes ever.
I just thought that was they thought that was a comedy line and it didn't fit.
What I thought was good about Andor is that Krennic, and the actor obviously who plays Krennic, did a really good job of being imposing over an imposing character, because she was quite imposing throughout and quite threatening and kind of hard-faced and kind of scary, but not to the audience, but had that and then he comes in and basically makes her look like a mouse in comparison. And then of course in Rogue One you get to see him put in his place because he's not knocked out of place by
Tarkin and Vader,
but by Vader, and it just makes him look shrinks him right down
and Tarkin makes him lose his cool a bit sometimes, because if you notice it. If you look in Andor season 2, you see when you first see when you first see Director Krennic, he's really well composed. He knows what he's talking about. He's really confident. And as the season comes to an end, he starts to crack a little bit. He starts to get like loses cool a bit, and then that carries on into Rogue One, where he really like as the film goes on, he loses all composure and like loses his head a few times.
Because
like
they
that
don't. Because Krennic and Tarkin, they don't get on, do they? They just don't. I've been told that it's they go.
No, because they work for two different. So at that point, Tarkin is in charge. He's heavily in charge of one of the biggest fleets in the Imperial Navy, and he's from the Navy, whereas Krennic's working for the ISB. He's in charge of the ISB. So they're two different, like, kind of cogs in the same machine that are constantly cutting heads.
If you read the books and look more into Tarkin, he was actually just a bastard.
He's a prick. However, brilliant military leader, brilliant military mind. And that's what you need in a general. You don't need like all the other stuff. You need a general that's hard.
Like Thrawn, really, then, because he's very clever, very.
But all the scenes for me with director Krennic are incredible. Like, just all the interactions are just class, and the Vader ones for me are just oof.
Yeah, Ben Mendelsohn. Mendelsohn.
Mendelsohn. Yeah,
he's a fantastic actor. Fair play.
I'm trying to think about a question you asked earlier about the Death Star shown in the prequels. So it was definitely shown at Clone Wars, wasn't it? A little hologram.
They showed it in Attack of the Clones. They showed it. They've showed it in Rogue One. They showed it in Rebels. They've not Rebels. They showed it in Revenge of the Sith. They showed it in
Revenge of the Sith. Is that where you saw just the skeleton of it?
Rogue One, Bad Batch. It's seen in Bad Batch. Yeah. It's seen in obviously the original.
In Revenge of the Sith, is that where you see like a skeleton of it? They're looking at the window.
Yeah. At the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. And you see a different version of Tarkin.
Yeah, I don't like that version, but
well, they did what the best they could with the technology that they had. Like, if you look at Tarkin in Rogue One, like, it's really good.
See, now that's the thing, and I still, when I originally went to see it with my son, and and I thought they got to have Tarkin, also, and then you saw, and first saw just the back of him, and I thought, oh, that's the way they're going to do it then. And when they actually turned around and showed, at the time, I thought it was amazing. I was like almost jumping up and down my seat, thinking this is absolutely amazing. I know there's a few things people say about it. But so nowadays, and they go, oh yeah, but now it looks like awful. And I still don't think so. I still like it. It's a hot take. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out. And it was great because it was like, you knew they were going to have to mention Tarkin, but you didn't think they would do a complete, full up.
Yeah, but it is going to look worse with age, but only because as technology,
it's still not as bad as people were making out.
No, you don't look at it now and go, oh, that's terrible.
I mean, they could, if they did it again now, it would probably look even better, wouldn't it? But
let's try and refocus on Brickworld hype. Okay. So I still haven't confirmed the last. I mean, there's plenty of people I could ask to do the last episode. Don't get me wrong. I got a couple of sort of backup plans, but I'm really holding out for one idea that I've trying to push the envelope on. And you guys might have to help me out. Padawan, you probably might be the best bet. But so obviously, Sean had talked about trying to make sure this kind of UK Boyz stream happens before Brickworld. In fact, he told me it will happen before Brickworld.
Yeah,
which I didn't put stock into it, and nor did you. But this was 2 months ago.
Right.
So obviously, I basically, because they're now streaming on a Sunday. What I want to do is I want to kind of do a hypathon for Brickworld. So on that Sunday, kind of we do our stream. I might even start a little bit later. He said they're going to go about 8 o'clock ish, which would be 1 o'clock in the morning for us. So I'm thinking if we could go like 8 and try and keep it going, and then overlap stroke hand over to them, and then they do theirs, because they said that stream is going to be pure hype.
I'll try, but I'll probably be so excited, mate.
I plan to be on that last. I plan to be on that last one because I'm already going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be, I think, a nice little tie-in.
Well,
and you'll have Ostiff
it'd
and
be nice
Kennedy and
It'd be
more.
nice if we could do a live thing with you as well. If you could pop in live.
Well, this is it. This is what we already set up. But the problem is that a couple of weeks later, ACOB were like, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to have Ostiff and Padawan tuning in live to the show. And I'm like, I've already organised that.
Yeah. Well, they
Nah,
can do
But
it.
ours would go first. So
Yeah, but you know, I think it's only.
There's no
I
harm
would
in doing
jump
it
on.
twice. What's wrong with doing it twice? There's nothing wrong with
Exactly,
that.
but you'll be the first.
Mm.
Plus, he's
Anyway,
not said anything to me, so this is the first for me.
And also, this is like for the UK show, really, in a way. So then you do one for the American show. So yeah, why not?
that's the point. And if you're real hardcore, you might try and do the full marathon. Otherwise, you can do the half marathon, and obviously
Padawan's
we hand
ours.
over.
You're not having
So
your
that's the closest we're going to get. But of course, that would still leave a space open for guests. But what I said to Sean and Brent is if I can try and get them to come on towards the end of the show and kind of warm up themselves. So we're the warm-up act for them, and they kind of, come on and say, like everybody, mass exodus, we're going to close out here and jump over to there. And obviously, they don't have to rescind the favor for us to jump onto them, but we'd all want to go to bed then anyway. But, I just thought, just to try and make it a little bit more exciting, extra juicy, get people along.
4 hours on here is enough. It's like, oof. Go on to another stream straight after. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, it wouldn't necessarily mean us streaming with them. It was more of a, it's for the guys. And also, like I said, not expecting anybody to go through the full, whatever it is going to be, 8 hours or anything like that. But more a case of, today started at 1 p.m. Oh, this show.
Yeah,
guys
is it Central Standard Time?
Yes. But they're basically going to go at 8 p.m. their time, Eastern, which would work out 1 a.m. here. Because it's far where they're 5 hours behind us. So what that means is that we'd have to go, if we wanted to do a palm off, we'd have to go till 1 o'clock. And I can't see us doing 7 till 1 because that's like, what's that, 6 hours. So if we do 8 till 1, it's only 5 hours. We've done 5 hours before. And then obviously I could have just a rolling guest. So what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to do a weekly premium StreamYard. And then between that Sunday and the following Sunday, which would be the last day of Brickworld, we'll have that option then to be able to use the premium StreamYard throughout the week if we need it. But yeah, we need to sort something out, Padawan, because if you're taking your gear anyway,
I'm taking everything but the mic because it's just too big and heavy. I'm going to rely on Ostiff or whoever is there.
Yeah, I think we need to do that. So I don't see the point of taking a Chromebook then. So would you be okay with us streaming via it?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, even if I'm not initially on it, I trust you. You can just use my laptop. Just don't look on the Safari favorites tab. There's some dodgy shit on there.
I can imagine.
How do you get temporary premium StreamYard? What's that all about? Or should I not ask that while we're live?
No, there's nothing dodgy about it. If you can only get monthly or yearly, both paid annually, I think, initially. But on this account, because I've been premium in the past, it now opens an option to have a week by week, which works out quite expensive. I say so quite expensive. It's like if you're having 1 week, it's not expensive. But obviously over the course of the year, it will work out probably double what the annual is. But it's like $17.99, so it's about 14-15 quid for a week, which would be worth it if we're going to use it quite a lot. But you can pay for 1 week, so you literally sign up for it, cancel it, like 30 seconds later, and it gives you that week.
Okay.
Not that I'll necessarily cancel it straight away, but you know what I mean? As long as I've cancelled it before the week is up, then they don't charge you then for the next week. So, but it doesn't give me the option on the other account. But what I've been doing is I've been sporadically going on to the other account to see if they offer me that, because I had the first account for almost a year before I set up, about 8 months before I set up the second account for Kirsty, because we ran out of space on that one, or streaming hours. And within a couple of months of us setting up the one on Kirsty's account, they gave me an option to have a 1 week trial for 79 cents.
Wow.
Or for $1, sorry, 79 pence it worked out. But they've never given me the option on the other one, which I thought was weird, which I've had a lot longer. So I was hoping that that was going to pop up at some point. but it never has. So I keep going back and checking. But no, yeah, you can do a 1 week, a one-off week. So I have had a look into it, but like I said, I might not necessarily use it throughout the week, but I will definitely use it for both those streams, which will be handy. So as long as I time it right, because we'll be streaming earlier on the Sunday the day we leave, so it is literally a week to the hour, if that makes sense. So if you do it at like 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday, it'll time out at 10:59 the following Sunday. If that makes sense. So, but yeah, so that's the plan anyway. And then of course we'll have to stream early on the Sunday, because obviously the time difference, but also because people start disappearing in the afternoon. So I think that's probably the best time to do it.
That earlier Padawan, when you went through that thing with me to do the time slots.
Yeah.
Didn't actually. I'm just thinking, it didn't actually give me
No, it won't. It will just randomly give it you at the time, because they're going to basically get all the people that are going to do it. Then they're going to divvy it into multiple times.
So Martin, when I was saying to you, we should do it together, to make sure we go at the same time. No, that's not going to happen. Then it's just random.
Right. Yeah, I don't even know. So have you guys put yours in then?
Yeah. I walked. Bless him. I walked Martin through it earlier before the stream started.
You can bless me. I don't mind. Well, I couldn't find it. I was like, "What? Where is it? It's not."
Have you put your name down for it as well, Ken? Yeah.
It doesn't explain it properly. I have to go through everything.
Yes, I did, but I'm not sure how these things are working exactly, because I have myself and my wife in our registration, and it doesn't say that when you register, you're necessarily registering for one or both people. So I'm trying to hash that out, because it doesn't give you an option to select how many people.
Well, thanks for that one. I found out there's lots of other things you can go on there for free, and I signed up for the football one as well.
Ken, the sensible head on me would say, because your registration is for multiple people, then the time you get given will be for the people that are on your registration. That's what that says to me.
That's what I'm hoping. Yep.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, my wife is going to be standing in a lot of hallways.
In worst case, you can always DM Mark and then just find out.
I was going to say, Mark has said that there's a chance. It's not confirmed, not 100%. There's a rumor at the moment, but Mark has said that he's going to try and get on for that last episode at some point, even if it's just a pop in. He did say he's going to be up to his eyeballs, though, but which I can imagine, because I'm going to be, and I'm just attending. So,
I've got like my whole bit here. I won't show because there's some surprises, but my whole next to me here, there's just like a pile of stuff I've got to take with me, and it's all there, stuff for people and this, that, and the other, and some paraphernalia that's not illegal, but I wouldn't show it on the stream in case YouTube get funny about it.
The thing is, if I was more organised and had a bit more like budget-wise, I would have taken things over and stuff, but just
Tanya. That's it, Tanya. I was wanting to do a shout out. I wanted to do a shout out to Ken's wife, but I completely forgot her name. I was going to say Wendy for some reason, but that's Papa Tripp's wife. But so shout out to Tanya.
Actually just heard her coming home. I don't know who the hell's in the hallway.
She's getting the hallways ready, mate.
It's a live swatting. Someone's in your hallway.
Oh my god.
No. Oh, do you remember I did that to Maul's Vengeance that time on the live stream, where he was just sat there on his own in a room with a blanket around him, and you could just kind of see the background. I was like, "Who's that in the background?" He's like, "No, I live alone." I'm like, what? And he's like this. Scared him out like.
That happened to Hive on one of his about 2 weeks ago. Like suddenly there was a light going on in his backyard, and he was like, "What the?" And went out to have a look, and it turned out to be his wife, so it was all right.
Have you seen the private chat?
No, I haven't.
I'll just say to you now, because I didn't want to ruin the flow of the previous conversation. You're taking backpacks with you as well on the flight, because you can take a cabin suitcase and a backpack.
Yes.
To maximize room.
Yes.
I was going to take a cabin suitcase, a suitcase, and a backpack, but then I binned off the cabin suitcase because I couldn't be asked to carry it all.
Yeah. No, I've got the cabin suitcase and a backpack.
Just bear in mind, though, man, with the backpack, I saw one yesterday, a collapsible Lego one. That's the thing. So if you were to get one like that, man, you have to be careful, because what it does say is that you've got to be able to put it under the seat in front of you. So it can't be like a huge one.
Yeah, I bought a new one for my laptop, more rigid, so it doesn't collapse, but it's not as big as my other one. My other one's massive, and I was like, I reckon they get funny about it.
But in your case,
medium.
in your case, there, Padawan, you'd be able to put that above you, whereas we can't, because
that's another
But this one's alright, isn't it?
reason why that'll be fine.
Yeah,
that'll be fine.
That's another reason why I binned off the cabin suitcase, because if they do get funny, I can be like, well, I could just stick this in the overhead locker then instead. But
yeah,
I wanted something rigid that would carry like my really expensive headphones, my MacBook, and my other bits.
Maybe a silly question. I've obviously now got to take some meds with me. Do I put that in that bag so they can see them?
Yeah.
In a clear bag inside there.
In a clear bag, right?
And the same with any liquids.
How big is it?
What, the meds?
Yeah.
Oh, it's literally going to be like
tablets.
It's a strip like that.
Oh, that's fine.
Don't take them like that.
I thought you were taking a big bottle of liquid morphine. I'll be like,
no. I'll be off of that by then. Thank you.
Have you got the original box they came with the doctor's thing on it?
Yeah. Well, I got some new boxes. Yeah.
You'll need it with the box with the prescription on the side of it.
Yeah.
Because then you can't.
I tried to
prove it to you.
I tried to take loose tablets. Well, I didn't try to take loose tablets.
Be...
They'd fallen out of the bag, and they were like, "You can't have the loose ones. You can have the ones that are in the box." And I'm like, "Oh no, they're from there. Look, watch," and push them back in. So, but yeah, that's funny with that.
The house.
Papa Trip. I did tell Papa Trip I was gonna have a new super chat ready for him, either him or Papa Rex ready for tonight. And I gotta be honest, I've been so busy. Sorry, Papa Trip. Haven't had a chance to do it, but hopefully Papa Trip, shout out to you. You've been enjoying the NASCAR racing. I know he's a big NASCAR dude, so hopefully it went well. Shout out to Wendy as well. Almost got yours and Ken's wives mixed up earlier. But,
yeah.
Right.
Well, as long as Papa Trip and I never have that problem, then it's all right.
Yeah. You never know. It could be a keys in the bowl situation, you know. So.
Oh Jesus. What are you guys bringing for bags to bring into the actual convention? What's the plan there?
What, in terms of shopping?
Just in general. I mean, it's like, okay, so you bought a bunch of sig figs. You're not just going to have pockets full of sig figs while you walk around. Right?
Oh, mate, I'll show you now.
Oh, I'll probably take that backpack then. Probably take this.
Okay. Yeah, backpacks at conventions, or at least conventions I've been to in the past, they're a pain in the ass. Because it starts getting crowded, you turn around and you're smacking people with them. Like it's kind of rough.
I'm thinking again, like a satchel or something to put my bits in.
I'll just everything I buy, then I'll just buy it and then take it up to my hotel room and then come back down.
Yeah, it's the advantage of staying actually.
Yeah.
At the convention. Yeah, that's a good point.
But like I said, because of bringing things back and out, I won't be buying a lot anyway. So I'm just looking forward to the food, which is why hopefully this will be fixed by then.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
Here's the run taking.
You're taking that.
Look at this.
See, the reason why I don't want to take mine, or I didn't buy this, is because I've got a lot of t-shirts with cool shit on the back of the t-shirt, and I don't want to wear a bag and no one can see the cool shit on the back of the t-shirt. So
yeah, no, that's a good point. But I just think, for me personally, a drawstring bag for just your little bits and pieces, like if I got sig figs to give out and bits and pieces I'm collecting. Obviously, if it's something bigger, I can just wing it straight to the room. But for the majority of the time, it's nice to have some, because I don't do bum bags, and any other backpack's going to be sweaty on your back. And I just think, I don't want to have pockets full of stuff, like Ken said, but this would be quite handy. And of course, if I'm not using it, just fold it up and put it in your pocket. They make it take up no room whatsoever. So, yeah. But that's my solution.
I do have. Oh, I'm going to put myself on solo scrutiny, if that's okay. I forgot about this. I was given this. I could always take this with me. It's a pull string. Look.
Oh, damn!
That's cool.
Oh, that's cool. You have to take that, Martin. You have to pack that.
I forgot I had this. I thought you lot might like this. Look,
Martin,
nice,
you've got to take it. You've got to take it. That is cool.
What? I can't believe you question whether you should take that or not, mate. How much do you want to sell it?
Don't sell it, Martin. Keep it. It's cool.
No, I don't want to sell it.
No, that's cool, mate. That's really cool.
I was giving it for free. There was at work. They said, "Oh, this is somebody's left this. Do you want it?" I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
Yeah.
Is this? Oh man,
It's
do
got
you
some
want to swap
very
it for an Admiral Akbar?
No.
It's a trap.
Now that I can see how much interest and how much everyone likes it, no.
Oh mate, you got a good thing there. It's nice sometimes when you think you got something in your collection, or other
I will
people
put that
are
in my
like,
suitcase as soon as I finished.
there you go. See, even Amy said it. If Amy said it, it's official. That is a cool. And I'll just a quick apology for the chat, guys. I have been looking at it, but I've been so invested in the conversation, or invested in talking, should I say, that I keep forgetting to check it up. So I do apologize if I've missed any.
I've
comments,
been putting them up, mate,
Whittakee's
don't
on the
worry,
ball.
and saluting everybody when they come in and stuff. So
You can sell it for 3 times as much at Brickworld. Okay, all right.
unless I got it for nothing, then it would be 3 times.
Well,
nothing.
there might be one evening where he falls asleep before me and then disappears. And he
Yeah,
forgets he's got it.
if he were replaced with a pair of Crocs.
Oh, that's not a fair trade.
That's not good, is it?
No.
No, thank you.
What are we? Yeah, so we're to. I can't. Yeah, Ken. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Ken was anti-Crocs, wasn't he? So
yeah,
good lad.
So Ken and Martin are anti-Crocs. Me and Padawan are Uncle Crocs.
I'm taking 3. No, I'm going to take 2 pairs of Crocs. 2 pairs of Crocs. I'm definitely wearing them on the flight. They're so comfy. Like, I'm wearing them on the airport and the flight. 100%.
I've been looking at some jizz bits, but they just look the quality of them look terrible. The quality of the jizz bits is awful.
I have no idea where mine are.
I managed to find some letters instead. In fact, they sell them in my shop, and they're reduced at the moment. And I opened up one of the bags inside, and apart from one letter, there's enough letters in there for me to write across my Crocs, "Cool Han Luke Bricks." So I got to buy 2 just to have a couple of spare letters.
I'll be there, Pocket Master. I'll be the first one to sign that.
But question for the chat and for the panel: do I go Cool Han on one Croc and then Luke Bricks on the other Croc, or do I go Cool Luke and then Han Bricks, so that it only works when your feet are together?
You got to do it so that you can look at them one at a time, and it's not really strange.
Yeah, Cool Han, Luke Bricks. That's what.
Or
you
even
need.
better, just take them and put them on a jacket and throw the Crocs away.
That's
yeah,
an option.
There's a Croc store at the mall when you come here.
Oh no, Amy!
Amy, you're gonna have to. Amy, let us know.
You are not dragging me to that shop.
I tell you what, right?
Are you Croc or not? Let us know, Amy.
Ken made a good point about the bag situation, and I've just bought the thing that I gave Ostiff shit for, and now I've gone and bought it because Ken makes a really good point. But I bought the crossbody satchel.
Oh,
that's funny.
Amy.
Oh, here he goes.
I didn't want to buy a bag because I didn't want to cover up the cool shit on the back of the t-shirts.
Oh, if Ken's got one that says got a Brick Dynasty symbol on it, then he's been holding out on me. I'm going to get one. Crossbody bag.
No,
I'm just smiling.
Not Brick Dynasty, but yeah, just this tiny little,
nice.
half a backpack. They're kind of.
Wait, so do you wear that on the front or the back? Because I've seen those.
I don't know, wherever. I guess you could.
You can wear it on both. I think
or
you can wear it on both.
You could spin it, I guess, and do the front. Yeah,
see, you know what? You guys. Damn.
It was 15
I can't believe I went for the
so.
drawstring. 15. That's pretty
there's
good.
There's always bum bags, isn't there, or fanny bags, as you call them.
I like how Amazon actively like go, look, you can put your pack of cigarettes in this.
Well,
who still smokes?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up, Ken.
Yeah, I think I'm the last smoker on earth.
I'm now becoming a dip man.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, though, Ken, because now I've got a bag to take with me to put little things in, and I never even thought of that until you showed the string thing. I completely forgot I had that bag. So
there you go. See, it's a world exclusive, guys. You saw it here first. Cool Han Luke show.
So this thing's got an actual pouch on it, big enough to slide a 40 in.
Nice.
A 40. I haven't heard any. I don't think I've ever heard an American refer to a 40. Like I obviously know what
Well,
one is
I'll tell you
since
what,
Menace
I'll
to
tell you what,
Society. But
I'll tell you what,
Oh, yeah.
Ken, when you're outside, I'll be out with you.
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
am I the only person who doesn't have any vices? I don't gamble. I don't drink. I don't have caffeine. I don't drink soft drinks. I don't smoke. I'm like
Don't
a
drink,
what do
don't
they call
smoke.
it? Like a
What
Mormon.
do it, don't drink, don't
Wow.
smoke. It's
Good for you.
boring.
I mean,
In my
I've done all those things in excessive amounts in the past, except for
I
gambling.
used to. I used to
After
smoke. I
after
used
what
to
you
smoke
told me,
properly.
you ain't getting anywhere near a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. And other things that I haven't mentioned on here I've done in excess, but I've gone down the straight and narrow, gone the complete opposite.
Yeah.
So no
Doing
disco
too many of the
biscuits
other
for me.
things are why
So
I
it's for the
still
best.
smoke.
I've been smoking for 13 years.
13. Wait, hang about. How old were you when you started?
16 when I started.
Jesus.
And I smoked normal cigarettes for 8 years, and then I stopped when I've been with Sam, because I used to one, it smells, fair enough. Two,
Yeah.
I used to pause the TV to then go outside, and she used to get really annoyed about it. So
Yeah.
that's when I went on to this, and now I'm trying to get off this to go on to this.
Is that better though? Those capsule things, those things. I've never heard of them until I see Austin use them. You put them
The
up in
way
your
I
gum,
look
like-
in your mouth.
Yeah, the way I explain it is it's like a nicotine patch, except it goes in your mouth. And the way I see it is you're not inhaling stuff into your lungs, so it's got to be better, right?
Yeah, do they? But they're not. Are they illegal here? Those pouch things? No.
No, they're really popular here now. The ones in them, I'll show it because I've shown it now. But in the United States, you can't get these stronger than a 6 milligram. And I've got a couple of people that have said, you need to bring us the strong stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'll bring you the strong stuff. 50 milligram bags, man. This will put you
aptly called Pablo.
5-0?
5-0. These will put you in the shadow realm.
Put you to the dark side.
That's amazing.
Ah, nice.
So I've got a couple of people that are like, you need to bring the strong ones, dude. And I'm like, what? Hang on a minute. What strength have you always had? And they're like, oh, you can't get higher than like 12 here. And I'm like, well, I'm going to give you 50s and watch you just melt into your chair. So
yeah, it's going to be like ring wraiths walking around the place.
My God.
That's going to be funny. I was on that stream. I must have been, or I was definitely watching it at least, when you had that conversation. I didn't have a clue what the hell you guys were talking about because I'd never heard of this stuff. Apart from seeing Austin put up, I always thought it was like sugar.
There you go. Garrett knows.
Caffeine.
Garrett knows. Here you go, Garrett. You know, you got some 50s coming your way, and I cannot wait to watch you. I'm just going to sit there and watching cinema, and I'm just going to watch you like. Just go into
get everybody to drop him just before The Last Jedi. That'd be amazing. So, AB has never understood the drawer of Crocs. I don't think they are comfortable.
Yeah, she
when you
hates
step
them.
on water, they slip. Yeah, I mean that's all. I've got mine are flip flops more than they are like the sort of round toe ones, but yeah.
Stop fighting.
The only vote I can see for Crocs, my grandmother used to wear them for gardening. And when you're done with the garden and they're all dirty, you can put them in the dishwasher. And the dishwasher's safe.
Really?
That's a huge perk.
You can also put the Winter Soldier's arm in the dishwasher as well. I found out today after watching. Did anyone watch that? The Thunderbolts. No. He sticks his arm in the dishwasher. Anyway, I'm going off the point, but that's a good point actually.
That's one film I've got a bit that I've missed because I wouldn't mind seeing that one.
That's why we went to see it today because it was the last showing in my cinema. I didn't realize how quick it'd been and gone.
I mean, it'd be on Disney Plus soon because I know next week or whatever, or a couple of weeks, you've got the Captain America one. Won't going to go to the cinema to see that, but I'll watch it if it's on Disney. But I will say, as we're just talking about that slightly, if anyone's got Prime, look up something called The Bondsman. I'm literally right at the end of it.
Is that Pierce Brosnan?
No, it's Kevin Bacon, and he's basically a bounty hunter for the devil. It's really good, and they're only half an hour shows as well, so they're not. There's eight episodes. I'm right at the end of the eighth episode at the moment, and it's really good if you like that sort of. I
got really into Yellowstone, and I watched the whole thing, and then I started watching the other one, 1883.
Right, I've watched 1883. Really loved it. Without spoiling it, the ending was a bit. But
yeah, Sam Neill's a fantastic actor. I love
yeah,
him.
that's why. Then I wanted to watch the other one with it's 1923 in it with Harrison Ford, but I haven't got round to do that. And then I watched Yellowstone.
Yeah,
But yeah, you need like Paramount Plus or whatever on top of your Prime to watch, and I was like, nah.
Mobland. That's what I was looking. I want to go watch Mobland. That's
Yeah, I've been told that's quite good as well. But if you've got Prime, have a look at Bondsman. Like I said, they're only half an hour shows, and it's good. It reminds me a little bit like the film R.I.P.
Oh, Rest in Peace Department.
Yeah, which I know didn't go down great.
I thought it was a brilliant film.
It's a fun film. It's a fun film. It reminds, and of course Kevin Bacon was in that, wasn't he? But he was the bad guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does remind me a bit like that, and something called Reaper that I used to watch years ago. So there's my recommendation. So,
what are we watching in the chat, guys? Let us know. It's completely off the subject of Brickworld hype, but why not? And just want to say as well, just to try and keep
the end of the show now. So
yeah, just to keep it kind of a little bit Brickworld, just to let you guys know that Amy, as well as Papa Trip possibly, but definitely Mrs. Trip or Mama Trip, will be, fingers crossed, all things going well, technically wise, popping on the show live from Brickworld.
Nice.
They've both said that they'd like to come on the show, but obviously probably a bit more comfortable in that surrounding than in this surrounding, which is fine. Not going to put any pressure on anybody, but of course that invitation is an open invitation. So Amy, if you ever feel like you want to pop on the show in this sort of, the current situation we're in, then we'd love to have you on.
Who did we have on I was watching the other day. Was it ACOB? Was it Sean's mum that popped, or somebody's mum popped in?
Well, what I'll say is this. Amy, at this rate, either you or Mama Trip are going to be, not that it really matters, but you are going to be the first female guest that we've had on the show. Am I right? We might have had other people pop in, like Kirsty or Sam or whatever, or be in the background. But in terms of being an actual, like a guest that we sort of chat to and interact to, the first. Jen was supposed to be the first.
Yeah.
But we had some clashes
I was going to mention somebody called Brick Babe, who does Good Morning.
Yeah, the Brick Babe. I've reached out to her a couple of times. I sent them out on the sort of cold fusion stream and just said, "Look, love to get you on."
Yeah, it was Sean's. Yeah, it was Sean's mum that popped in. So, because we saw Austin's mum as well.
Yeah, we've had Austin's mum. I'm trying to think who else has kind of popped up in the background.
No, it's not a sausage fest. Stop it, Nimble.
He's kind of right though. We do need to diversify a little bit, and without going into detail, we need to diversify in quite a few different ways. Not that it really matters, because people are people, and that's all that really matters.
Be careful there.
No, I don't mean it like that. I just mean like I'd like to. I want to be a bit more.
Blimey, we've got an Englishman, an Irishman, and a bleeding Welshman. What else? Cool.
That's all the diversity that matters in this country. Like I said, I came across a YouTuber the other day. And he was like, was he the
young and in the middle and the older? There's diversity there.
The Lego Scotsman or something like that. Oh, no, I'll tell you what it was. No, I got to show you this. You just reminded me. Thanks for that, man. How am I going to play it? Where was it? I found something that was really funny. I thought, yes, I got to play this on the stream, but I was just trying to remember where I saw it. Chat amongst yourselves.
Make sure you get I don't know what you guys are planning on doing, but I'm getting Airlo's really good for if you want to get a data plan for when you're over there.
A what?
It's called Airlo. It's an app, and it downloads an eSIM onto your phone, so you can still use your phone when you're in the United States and not get smashed on charges.
Wait, is it not Wi-Fi at Brickworld then?
Yeah, there's Wi-Fi, but if you're going out and about, do you know what I mean? And if you, as you can imagine, bandwidth, right? There's going to be a shit ton of people at the convention center, all on the Wi-Fi. It's going to be slow.
So in the chat, we've got actual Mrs. Papa Trip.
Yeah, she did check in earlier.
Yeah, first women on the stream.
Oh, right, yeah. First women on the stream. Yeah, absolutely. as guests. But I mean, we've had people in the chat, obviously.
Oh God,
But yeah, it'd be nice to get a first official guest. And if Papa Trip hasn't relayed the message to you, Mrs. Papa Trip or Wendy, then you're welcome to come on before Brickworld if you want to. If it's, you know, if you're happy to sit in an environment like this. I think that last show that we do Sunday before Brickworld will be the one, because obviously that's going to be open to pretty much anybody. I'm going to turn that into a bit of a cold fusion stream, plus we're going longer potentially. Fake up to the handover, so I don't remember where I found it.
Do you know how the From Brickworld stream is going to work? Do you have a location plan for that?
No, we're going to wing it, mate. My speciality. We're going to just absolutely blag it on the spot. When it comes to preparation, zero skill. When it comes to making it up on the spot, I'm highly skilled. But no, I've spoken to a couple of people though. In a serious answer to the question, I've spoken to a couple of people like Ostiv or whatever, and I can't remember who else, who obviously who were alumni there, and they've said, yeah, lots of people just do it from the from the hallway,
the lobby.
Yeah, from the lobby. You can even do it from your room, that kind of thing. So it's just, now the Padawan has said that, I'm just a little bit concerned about the connectivity. So I don't know whether it might be worth. Would you suggest maybe taking an Ethernet cable, or am I talking old school now?
You're talking old school.
Would I not need that to improve the quality of the Wi-Fi? If we were to do it in the room, for example.
We might not have a connection. It will just be Wi-Fi. Might be wireless.
There are boardrooms not in use as well. All right. That's really helpful. Boardrooms sound fancy. Bit of a fancy stream.
I don't know if I will, but only because they said they got one in there. I actually did pack some swimming trunks there.
That's a good shout. I forgot about that. No, that's a good shout, mate. Somebody, I can't remember who told us that. I think it was like Coop or someone. I was like, I never even thought about that. That'd be amazing.
Oh, things I didn't see registration for are the movie and the concert. What's going on with those two?
Oh yeah,
yeah, because I think they're not official ones. They're not. I don't know about the concert, but the movie, is that non-official? That's just kind of something they're doing.
Further, isn't it? Yeah, I did. Good Life Bricks did bring up the thing about a cookout outside, but I don't think that's gonna, because they have their own food. They have their own food vans and stuff, don't they? Which is, I thought, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but I think somebody brought up the point that it's easier to seek forgiveness than to ask permission. So it's like, try it. The worst that's going to happen is say, sorry, guys, we're shutting you down. Do something else. I think that's what I kind of...
The movie is always available through the day. So, but there's a particular one where, yeah, I mean, I am looking forward to that now, seeing Revenge of the Sith with everyone. And yeah, it's not going to be like, shh, everyone's going to be chatting, having a laugh, having it, but that's part of it. So,
what? The Fold aren't playing? Oh, come on.
Oh,
that's just
no concert. Damn.
No, we just have to do the ACOB one then.
Now, how was the ACOB one going to work? Because weren't they kind of relying on the Fold's equipment?
Yeah, they were relying on the Fold, so I don't know. Maybe we'll have to get a big speaker and just go for it.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know they weren't attending.
Oh, maybe that's why Sean was looking for a projector in the Discord too. Okay.
Makes sense. Well, hopefully, Papa Trip, we can just use the ACOB booth and whatever, because they ain't going to be streaming 24/7. So hopefully, I can speak to Brent and Sean and be like, "Hey, screw the nut. Let me just keep all your equipment there and let me just hook my laptop up, and we'll go from there."
I love it. Yeah.
Oh, I sent it in there. Oh, I sent it in here. I don't know why. I'm just going to play it here because I can't be bothered trying to load it up to the thing. So this is for anybody from the UK in the chat. It won't make sense to most other people, I don't think. Wait a sec.
You're going to fucking shoot you, but you can have one. The fuck? Irishman, Scotsman, and Welshman.
Yeah,
By the Iraqis.
brilliant joke.
They're going to fucking shoot you, but you can have one last request. Said the Welsh fellow, what's your last request? Said, like 1,000 Welshmen singing Land of My Fathers. Said the Scotch fellow, what's your last request? Said, like 1,000 bagpipes playing the flower of Scotland. Said the Irish fellow, what's your last request? Said, I'd like 1,000 Irishmen doing the river dance. Said the English fellow, what's your last request? He said, fucking shoot me first.
I've been telling a lot of people that joke, Martin, since you sent that to me.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, look, all in the interest of you know, the 4 nations or sub-nations, if whatever, taking the mick out of each other. I found
Well, that's
that
what
quite
jokes
funny,
are
actually.
about. Jokes are jokes. People shouldn't be so bleeding ooh about them.
The one nation and the 3 dependents.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Slurpee is about to become the first one of the original Cool Han Luke hosts that's not been on a show. Well, I say about to be. I wasn't about to shut the show down, but you know what I mean. It's looking that way. I shouldn't have to keep giving people reminders that, you know, they should pop up. We did last time for
Well, that was like
we
that
did
2
last
weeks
time
ago.
for Whittakee.
The
Yeah,
2
you
weeks
were on your
ago,
deathbed, mate.
I'd come back from hospital and I'd literally written on there, I'm not going to pop in because I was watching you. And as I was writing that, you were like, oh, it's a shame he can't pop in. And so I was like, you bastards. So I popped out and I went, hello, I'm off now, bye. I went.
You would have regretted it, though, mate. But again, in that case, I reminded you both, and I said, like, come on, don't miss out, because you were the guys who started talking about who's going to be the first one to miss out.
Yeah.
But now it's like, should I have to message him? He should know the show's going on. He should know that he wants to keep up. All he's literally got to do is take 2 seconds to go, hey guys, how's it going? Cheerio.
And even when I've been at work and I said I wasn't going to be on, I popped in for longer than what I actually. But
No,
yeah, that 2 weeks
it's
ago,
going to go
like
forever.
I said, that 2 weeks ago, I was really, and like I even sent it to say that I won't pop on. And then when you said that, I was like, oh, so I thought, oh, bloody hell, pop on, say hello. Yeah. So at least I can say, yeah, been on.
Once you miss something for the first time, it's a lot easier to miss something for the second.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. They'll start going on holidays and all sorts.
Hey, oh my God, it's Darth Slurpee. It's or is it a nun?
Here he goes.
Hello, my
Irish audio.
sister.
Well,
Good
bit of
morning, my
slander
sister.
going on there.
Top of the morning.
Right.
Weird that.
At all.
A nun's habit thing on your head.
Yeah.
Going on here.
Yeah, back in the habit.
Oh God, no.
Oh man.
No, don't break the habit.
Back in the loft, hey.
Here he is, look. Hey.
What's up?
Mate, that just
Looking
makes you
like
look
pixels on
totally
screen,
different.
yeah.
Totally different.
Yeah, Slurpee, you've got to do it. You've got to say those immortal words. Execute, blockhead. While you're in that disguise.
Do it.
Oh, like kind of do that there.
Execute, blockhead.
Execute blockhead.
Yeah. Daft Slurpius.
Probably fucking sound like a hologram, too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the hologram was better as well. What's going on here?
Oh,
here
six
we go.
Slurpee. Oh, no.
Guys, I'm gonna dip out before my internet fucking completely
Oh,
evaporates.
Slurpee,
the
don't.
last half a megabit.
Slurpee, don't. Slurpee, don't go, please. Can you just wait for something? And you won't have to interact. You just need to be able to watch. How can you see us okay?
Yeah, I can see you guys. Yeah. See.
Right, okay, because I got something to show you. And you're going to want to stay. You don't need to say anything, do anything, but
See?
you Give me a sec. I'm setting it up. I just want to make sure it's going to work properly before I do it. How do I?
Well,
Christ. Give me a sec.
While you're sorting that out, Slurpee, did you like my little surprise that I showed you the other day?
There's a delay.
It was good. Looked good.
Yeah, I never heard back from Mark, so I thought it'd be okay.
How do I get this? How do I? Oh, can I just do it like that? Wait a sec.
I did forget the that Gruger set comes with a nice nice stand, nice plaque.
Is that printed or a sticker?
It's printed.
Nice.
And well, I showed Padawan earlier, but you know you get extra pieces sometimes in a set.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting an extra Grugo head.
Wow.
Got that free. Sure, that was a mistake. I'm sure they don't normally put them.
Right. There's probably a way to do this better, but I didn't get a chance to practice it beforehand. So, Slurpee, hopefully you're still there, mate, and you can at least see this.
Oh, it's gone.
Oh, no, he's gone.
He's probably still watching, though.
Yeah, let us know in the chat, mate, if you're watching. That would be enough. Because I just want you to see this. Obviously, it's not. We'll wait for him to do a heads up, and then we'll show you it. Actually, we'll show it anyway, but
yeah.
So after all that build up, I'm not going to not show it, but
Yeah,
I just want to make sure he's there.
He is.
Oh, wow. What's up here?
Right, so full screen this, guys. So this is all Kirsty, right? Including the presentation, but the photos and everything as well.
Right,
so this is a day in the life of Blockhead. So he's making his morning Peruvian coffee beans and milk and a mug. So is there two photos there? Am I supposed to be able to click on them both? Oh no, they're just on top of each other. Sorry, this is the best way I can do it. I think it's supposed to be some kind of slideshow, but I can't work out how to do it. So he's out having his coffee out on the front garden. He's getting himself some bread, some cheese. He's got himself some strawberries. He's out having a picnic. Got a little sandwich. And then he spots a bird. He's feeding the birds there, like.
Yeah, she's bad brain.
He's reading a horror movie out on his picnic blanket. I don't even know where the hell she would do that. Oh, he attended the Carmarthen Bay Film Festival with me somehow. I was there and I don't remember seeing him. He went for a spot of lunch. Oh, and I know I'm pretty sure I remember what he washed it down with. Sweet potato fry, as you do. And he washed it down with a nice cool pint of Guinness. That one I was there for.
Yeah.
Took a ride on a dupe.
Oh, yeah. He knows what's up.
Is that it? I'm sure there was more than that. I think that might be it. No,
that's
12.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here we go.
Nice one, Kirsty.
So shout out to Kirsty. Dubs in the chat for Kirsty. She put that whole thing together whilst I was on the stream and just messaged me and said, share this. But of course,
I mean, that's just to let people know that, like, when Blockhead isn't getting maimed or killed, he's living a normal life.
He's having a good life, yeah.
He's living a pretty good life, in fairness. He's living a better life than I am. So, I mean, I can't afford the
Easy
Peruvian
well,
blend
hey.
coffee.
Also,
Because I can't even afford strawberries. Sorry, mate, go on.
Lots of W's in the chat for Kirsty. Where's he gone?
No, we lost him again, I think.
what's up?
Ah, yeah, what were you trying to say, mate? We didn't hear you.
I think the internet's dying.
Crush, you think he was on the friggin' moon?
So
What? While we're waiting for him, earlier on we mentioned like 48-hour streams and stuff. Did anyone see the 48-hour stream that Jedi Stone did? At one point, I clicked on and it was just a camera showing him fast asleep in his bed.
That was like me. That was like me on Mayo stream.
And it said something about so much for a super to try and wake him up or something. It was just, I was like, I have been recently going back and watching some of the, is it TOT? This or that? Some of their
that
streams.
is that who it is it?
I will be honest, they're great, but my God, you get a bit of a headache after a bit because they do a lot of shouting.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I've only seen the clips. R.I.P. my
honestly,
internet.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're friends sometimes. But yeah.
But that's entertaining though, isn't it? We all get on too well.
Nah, it's not a bad thing.
I mean, we've had some arguments. For us, it's like we should just clip when we just mercilessly bully Lego sets, like when we did the Christmas, the Halloween, the Easter. We just absolutely destroy it. But you can't clip the whole thing.
You just can't believe, especially when you look at the date and you think, well, yeah, that was what, 1970? And it's like, no, that was 2000. It was like, what?
Yeah, in 1972, they created this set. 25 years later, they created a worse set. It's just like, how have they done that?
Shout out to the General Trons.
General Tron, how's it going, mate? It's a Brick Dynasty alumni there.
No, we don't need to have no. I come on here to not be stressed. So oh God, I got the hiccups. That's when it hurts.
Yeah, mate. You just feed me some couple of pints of Stella, and I'll just argue with anybody.
Ow!
Oh
shit! Excuse me.
All right, boys. I gotta get running. I gotta get off my feet.
I'm also gonna have to shoot.
You know what? Yeah. I was gonna say it's gone 11. I was gonna.
He's been stood all this time as well. Fair play to Ken.
Well, thanks for coming, Ken. Though, thanks for coming and joining in. It's always a pleasure.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it, mate. Yeah, appreciate you coming in, and obviously, looking forward to meeting you at Brickworld. You know, it is a little bit more ragtag on these streams and not as sort of professional as you guys.
I'm trying to get it like that. I want to try and get it so we have a main theme and then just things around it. But
yeah,
hopefully, hopefully after Brickworld. Hopefully after
what Ken was.
Oh, go on.
I think what Ken was saying though is kind of spot on. Is that you need a bit of both. People want to see a bit of both. If we're all trying to be the same as each other, then everybody's the same. You know, so
no, I didn't mean it like that. We still have all our stuff like around the, but maybe just try and think of something, well, like we do with the guests and stuff like that. So, hopefully after Brickworld or whatever, and because I'd like to get you and Saunders back on to do what we did a little bit before, where we pick something in a theme, and then we do a little a little pitch.
Yeah, that was a good time. I really enjoyed that.
And again, like what I'm thinking of is like the UCS, but obviously think more out of the box. Some things that you would like to see, but there's no way they're going to make it.
That's a good point.
So that's just, but that'll be after Brickworld now. But
So
I'm going to say
right.
goodbye.
I think we do need to have a bit of structure. I think to some degree we've had it in the past. We've had these set things that we do every week. but
it just
over the course of time, it's fallen apart.
It would just be nice sometimes to know what we're doing before 5 minutes to the show.
Yeah, well, I don't know myself, mate. Usually,
That's
in
true.
fact, I work out what I'm going to do about 5 minutes after the show, if anything, and then forget about it the following week. But
at least now we've got to a point where, like today, when you were a little bit behind, now I can just go on and start the show, and
yeah,
it's got a lot better. I thoroughly still enjoy, especially at the moment, not being that well. It just helps me tremendously. Like I said, this community is great. One thing about this community is that they're always willing to help, even if it's nothing is in it for them. If you know what I mean. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I will see you guys later. It's been real. Everyone in chat, it was good to see you guys too.
You take care, Ken.
You should, bro.
Nice one, Ken. Look forward to meeting you at Brickworld, mate. All the best. Okay.
Wind this bad boy down.
And it was also nice to have you pop in as well, Padawan.
As always.
Don't always see you. We need to see you.
The whole episode.
You don't need me every single week. Like I'll come in every now and then.
Yeah, but a bit more than every now and then, though. It's been a
I'm
while.
the Tyler to your cohort.
Oh yeah, he's making a comeback, isn't he? So they said.
Yeah.
Doing some streams and stuff, so that'd be nice.
I like Tyler, but we'll see how long it lasts, hey?
Yeah. True. Right. Okay, well, thank you for everyone that joined, and if you're watching on replay, enjoy. And we'll see you next week, which will be even closer.
Yeah,
well, that'd be 9 days.
Yeah, so next episode, guys, this time 7 o'clock next week, UK time, we got Brick Hive in the house. He's been on the show before, a couple of times actually, but first time as the main guest. We're going to obviously go into some detail with him. As of one of the Brickworld people who's kind of returning every year. I think what was quite unusual about Brick Hive is the fact that he didn't attend last year, but he has attended in the past. So we can kind of get a little bit of excitement from him for what he missed out on. And obviously, just to carry on the Brick Hype, what I want to try and do before next week, guys, is try and get lots of questions in the chat for Brick Hive about Brickworld or about him, whatever it might be. And we'll do our usual thing. We'll talk a little bit about him, about his past with Lego and Star Wars and whatever else. And then obviously just go into the usual nonsense that we dig into. But we heavily rely on the chat to keep things kind of in place and scattered at the same time. So keep it coming, guys. Appreciate all the comments in the chat.
Thank you too, Amy. We're looking forward to meeting you as well at Brickworld.
And Amy rode. I know other people did as well, but Amy rode with us from the start to the end, because I did notice her comments at the beginning saying,
Amy's a real G.
So really looking forward to meeting you, Amy, at Brickworld and having your Brick Cool Han Luke premiere appearance. It'd just be a competition between you and Mrs. Tripp, who appears on the stream first in terms of females. But not that it really matters. I don't want to make a huge thing of it. But we're all fans. That's the main part. So, but so we'll see you guys there. Thanks for everything. Thanks, hosts. Thanks, chat. See you next week.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah.
Links in the description of the YouTube for everybody else's Instagram and YouTube. Go and check them all out. Sub, all that stuff. And don't forget to like the stream.